Los Angeles Rams, the UCLA Bruins, and the Southern California Trojans. Well, it has lost the Rams and it's lost UCLA. But tonight, a man by the name of Al Davis went to the courts and brought the Los Angeles Raiders to play in the Coliseum. Good evening, everyone. From the Coliseum in Los Angeles, I'm Ken Lass, along with Paul Hornung and Joe Schmidt. Welcome to Green Bay Packer preseason football. The Packers against the Los Angeles Raiders. And Paul Hornung, if there is a psychological advantage tonight, it probably goes to the Raiders because this is opening night and they have to make the merchandise look good.
You're absolutely right. I was talking to Al Davis a few moments ago. He's pumped up. He's a very happy man, and I think you're right, Ken. This is a historic moment. This is the game where the Oakland Raiders become the Los Angeles Raiders, and I think they're going to be sky high.
And, of course, the Packers will not have all their horses starting. Joe, some starters missing.
Yeah, Eddie Lavery at running back, he's out. Harlan Huckleby is in. At linebacker, Mike Douglas, the all-pro candidate, he is out, and Guy Prather will be in his position. We'll keep our eye on any other injuries down in the field.
Joe will be reporting from the sideline as we go along. So the stage is set, and we'll be back with a kickoff. The Raiders and the Packers after this timeout.
1982 Packer preseason football is brought to you in part by your nearest Mills Fleet Farm store, by your local Dodge dealers, by First Savings, the first in the new era of personal financial management, by the Pabst Brewing Company, brewers of Pabst Blue Ribbon beer, the real taste of beer, and by your neighborhood True Value Hardware store. More than a name, it's our way of doing business.
Ken Lass and Paul Hornung from the Los Angeles Coliseum, where Eddie Garcia is preparing to kick off in receiving formation for the Raiders. Are 34 Greg Pruitt and 28 Clee Montgomery. There's Garcia, the 10th round draft pick from Texas Christian. And we want to show you what happened just about a moment ago. The solidarity handshake as all of the Raider players came out to shake hands with all of the Green Bay Packer players. And that, of course, a show of Union solidarity. And, Paul, you just can't get away from it, can you?
Well, I don't think it matters too much. I think they ought to do it all during the year. I think it's a nice touch. It doesn't bother anybody.
Take a look at your deep receivers. On the left is Greg Pruitt. He, of course, spent many successful years with the Cleveland Browns. And up on the top is Clee Montgomery, who's a young fella that has looked very good in the Raiders training camp. And they want to take a further look at him, and he seems to be impressing the Raider coaches.
I'll tell you what's impressive before we got a minute here. This field is a new field. I've never seen the Coliseum in my life with the cushion that it has and that beautiful grass down there. It's just absolutely, it's a new texture. We'll talk about it a little bit later. You get a good end zone view of it here. And, of course, this is the first game of the year, but it will not be skinned down. Of course, USC plays on it during the year, and fans are getting a little bit anxious now for Eddie Garcia to get this game underway. But what a beautiful turf it is.
Garcia kicked all of the kicking duties in the Packers' first preseason game, and then last week against the Cincinnati Bengals, he split the duties with Jan Stenerud, and he's probably got the longest shot of anybody to try to make the final ball club with Jan well in tow.
Well, the people here in Los Angeles have been waiting for this moment for a long time, Ken. Here it comes. The Los Angeles Raiders are in action.
And they are officially now the L.A. Raiders, and Eddie Garcia blows one into the end zone, and Greg Pruitt's going to come out with it. And not far out to about the 15-yard line where Bill Whitaker led the tacklers for the Packers. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Oakland Raiders. Give you a look at the starting, I should say the Los Angeles Raiders. See, Paul, I did it already, didn't I? Raider backfield, quarterback Jim Plunkett, Kenny King, and Mark Van Egan will be the backs behind him. Malcolm Barnwell and Derek Ramsey and Cliff Branch form the receiving corps. Barnwell is in there for Bob Chandler, who had his knee scoped just a couple of days ago. The line is Lawrence, Marvin, Dalby, Marsh, and Shell. Some pretty historic names right there.
Art Shelby. In fact, he played against the Packers in the second Super Bowl.
1st and 10, and Plunkett hands it off to Kenny King, who's got 2 or 3 very tough yards over the left side, and the ball popped loose, but Oakland, I should say Los Angeles, has got it back. John Anderson with the tackle. I'll tell you, you look at the silver and black out there, and it's very hard to make yourself say Los Angeles. Let's take a look at the Packer defensive lineup. They're from Green Bay. We'll get that right all night. Butler, Terry Jones, Ezra Johnson are the front 3 and the 3-4. Then you've got Anderson, Rich Wingo, George Cumby, and Guy Prather as the linebackers. The secondary, Mark Lee, Mike McCoy, Johnny Gray, and Maurice Harvey. 2nd down and about 8. Up the middle, King's got it again, and then it's a little bit They're going up this time to about the 22 or 3. George Cumby, among others, made the tackle. Packers come into the game with a 2-0 preseason record. Green Bay beat the New York Jets 21-19, and they beat the Cincinnati Bengals 41-27. The Raiders are 1-1. Started with a 17-14 win over the 49ers. Lost to Detroit 30-16. And Plunkett brings them up now with a 3rd down and 2. King again.
No way.
And a great defensive play by Guy Prather and George Cumby.
I think while we got a minute here, we ought to tell the fans if it seems a little quiet here in the Coliseum, it really is. There were over 65,000 seats sold for this game. There's not 45 in the stadium right now, but there's a big mix-up in the ticket situation here in Los Angeles. We've got a lot of fans worried if we could get a shot of the stands before Ray Guy gets this punt. Of course, he's one of the great punters of all time. Let's take a look at it.
Tyrann Mathieu back to return for Green Bay. Guy standing on his own 8-yard line.
Nobody got the tickets. Hot Raider fans.
Matthews from the Green Bay 38. And he advances just 4 yards forward on a 39-yard punt by Ray Guy, where James Davis made the tackle for the Los Angeles Raiders, and it'll be 1st and 10 Packers. We expect to see Lynn Dickey come out at quarterback. Eddie Lee Ivory will not play in the backfield tonight. He has a sternum injury, and Bart Starr wants to take a little easy on ELI, so he's got Dickey, Harlan Huckleby, and Del Rogers in the backfield with Gary Ellis. Receivers are Jefferson and Kaufman and James Lofton. 1st and 10 Green Bay, ball on about the 42-yard line. Gary Ellis.
Good move.
5 or 6 yards and pushed out of bounds by Otis McKinney, the veteran safety.
Real good move by Jerry Ellis over here around the left side. Ellis made a good move inside, got outside for good yardage, picked up about 6.
There's the Packer front line. Greg Cook, Leotis Harris, Larry McCarron, Darrell Goforth, and Carl Swanke. And that's the way they should start going into the regular season if everybody's health holds up.
Excellent field position here for Green Bay with Dickey at control. Almost to midfield in the first possession.
2nd down and 4 for the Packers. Up the middle, it's Ellis trying his luck and finding very little running room and probably lost a little bit of yardage.
They're a little too fancy then, Ken. They should have kept just a little quick trap or maybe zone blocking at the point of attack, but a back should never stop behind the line of scrimmage. He should have hit it in there hard.
Here's the Raider defense as Lyle Alzado made that last tackle. Willie Jones, Reggie Kinlaw, Dave Browning, Ted Hendricks, Matt Millen, and Bob Nelson. Jones is in there starting for John Matuzak, who is out of this game with an injury. Linebackers Rod Martin. Lester Hayes is one of the cornerbacks, Monty Jackson the other. The safeties are Mike Davis and Burgess Owens. 3rd down and 5. And Dickey's throw over on the side is almost picked off by Ted Watts, last year's #1 draft choice.
Very good coverage that time by the Raiders. Dickey had nowhere to go. Went to his back. Secondary receiver that time was Ellis. He was even covered. Made a good pitch. Ellis couldn't hold on. So the Packers are going to punt him.
Ray Stackowitz, who has won the punting job in Green Bay for another year. And the deep man for the Raiders is Clee Montgomery. Stackowitz competition, Bob Pittard, was cut this past week, so that means that the 3rd-round draft choice of a year ago will be Green Bay's punter again in 1982.
He's angling for the sidelines. Good kick.
Montgomery from the 11, and not much room to work with over on the sideline. A 41-yard punt by Stackowitz and just a 3-yard return by young Clee Montgomery. So with 11:58 to play in the first quarter, timeout at the Coliseum. No score, Packers and the Raiders.
Long, he played 1 for 36.
What a phenomenal 1980 he had. Pitch out goes to Kenny King. He's up close to first down territory around the 36. Running him out of bounds was Virgil Livers.
Oh, he should have taken on Livers, put his head down, and ran right over Livers. King's got about 35 pounds on him.
Okay, let's go to the sidelines and Joe Schmidt.
The LA Coliseum holds over 100,000 people, but I'll tell you what, there are nowhere near 100,000 people here today. Probably around 45,000 people. The big ticket controversy, a lot of people don't want to sit way back there. You're at least 50 yards away from the field, so a lot of people upset about that. Back up to the booth.
They don't sell those tickets tickets down in that far part of the end zone. This only seats about 74 for football.
3rd down and 3, and Kenny King is diving for it. And again, a scramble for the football, and the Packers seem to feel they have it, but the guys in the striped shirts are the only ones that count, so keep your eye on them. Green Bay football on the Los Angeles 39-yard line. And let's go back and see if we can pick up the fumble, Paul.
All right. This is Kenny King. Hits right into the middle. Their ball is loose, and it is a live football. And now, of course, the Packers are going to come up. Looks like 59's got the best shot of it, and that's John Anderson. So I think John Anderson, who usually is around that football somewhere, has got it back for Green Bay.
We'll be back. Tough going over the right side, perhaps to the 35, where Lyle Alzado, then with the Denver Broncos and a couple of other clubs, comes up with the tackle. And on the replay, you'll see the veteran running back from the University of Michigan try the right side.
This is Huckabee. Makes a nice move inside. He's got Ellis out in front. Nice flow in the inside. He picked up 3.
Huckabee starting for Eddie Lee Ivory, who, as we mentioned, has that sternum injury and will not play tonight. 2nd down and 7.
Matuzak's not suited up either for Oakland.
Up the middle, the number 3 draft choice from the University of Utah, Del Rogers, carrying for a short gain. Bob Nelson on a tackle for the Raiders.
Big John Matuzak, you usually find him alongside of Hendricks out there on that Raider defense, but Matuzak from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, incidentally, is back at training camp. He's got a little injury, so they decided to let him rest.
3rd down and 4 for Lynn Dickey and the Packers. 9.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. No score from the Los Angeles Coliseum.
Watch the backs now. If they circle out of the backfield, they work on the linebackers. There goes Huckabee. He's wide open.
Over the middle, it goes to Lofton, who juggles it. And I believe it fell incomplete, and there's also flags down on the play. Well, James Lofton decided to play a little volleyball here.
Well, he couldn't get a hold of it. Huckabee was wide open. If Dickey had just seen Huckabee out the right side, he was wide open going to the sidelines. There you see him over there, but he gets the ball over the middle. He's wide open for the 1st down, and you won't see this too often. Lofton just can't find the handle. The ball's still live. Yep. Hendricks, always around that football, almost comes up with the interception.
Number 67 offense declined. 4th down.
That's Carl Swanke.
So
for holding, so Packers are going to have to punt.
4th down and 4. That's a pretty considerable field goal for Eddie Garcia if they choose to go that route, but that's what they're going to try. It's about a 49-yarder.
It's really not that far. I think he's got the wind at his back a little bit, so I think this kid can kick it this far.
Coach Bart Starr wants to get a look at him in this kind of a situation anyway. 49-yard try by Eddie Garcia. It's going to get there. It's good.
I tell you, I don't know what they're going to do with 2 great kickers like they have. This Garcia is impressed in the preseason Ken. I'll tell you one thing. I know, Bart, that's a nice luxury to have. You got Stenerud, who's probably the best kicker in the league last year. He was, in fact, and he got Garcia, too, so the Packers take an early lead.
3-0. We'll be back.
That 49-yard field goal has not only impressed the Green Bay Packer organization, he impressed Al Davis, because Al was looking at him before the game, and he said this guy can kick in the NFL. And it's obvious as he just kicks the ball nearly out of the end zone.
Fielding it back there was Greg Pruitt, and no way he's going to run that back. And Eddie Garcia is going to impress some coaches when they look at the film of this game. There is the scoring drive, 6 yards, 3 plays, 1:20, and a 49-yard field goal by the leading scorer in the history of SMU football, Eddie Garcia. Kicked 84 consecutive point-after touchdowns at SMU without a miss. Longest field goal he ever had, by the way, in college was 55 yards. And his hero is Pele, the former great soccer player. 1st and 10 Raiders, ball on their own 20-yard line. Plunkett at the controls. Out in the flat, it's caught again by his tight end, Ramsey, who's up to about the 28 or 9. Tackle on a play by Estes Hood. We'll watch it again from the ground.
Well, as that fine quarterback switched to tight end, here's Plunkett going back. Gets good protection this side. Finds Ramsey. He's doing a little out pattern from his tight end position. He hooks up, and he's got the football for a completion. This kid is going to be a fine. 5 years, you see it right there, out of Kentucky. He's going to be a fine tight end.
2nd down and 1 for the Raiders. They go up the middle to their veteran fullback, Mark Van Eegen, and he's got the first down with some change up to about the 32 or 3. Wingo on the tackle for the Packers. Mark Van Eegen right there, the leading rusher in the history of the Raider franchise. He has got a lot of years on him, but the Raiders have a guy on the bench by the name of Marcus Allen, whom they are going to have to work into this backfield.
I talked to Al Davis before the game. They're very high on him. They think he's a great kid. The other ball players respect him, and I think you're going to find him in the starting lineup with Kenny King in the season opener.
First and 10.
Look at that protection.
And he gets it to Ramsey, taken down at the 41-yard line by John Anderson. But Jim Plunkett had a day and a half back there to release the football. Watch all the time on the replay.
Here it is, good pass protection again. It's a Ramsey again. He gives Mark Murphy a little juke here. Murphy not keeping his eyes on the receiver here. Here's Ramsey. Now he's a sitting duck right there. Pretty good move back to the inside. He beat Murphy. Close to the first down. Need about 2.
Second down and not much for the veteran quarterback from Stanford, Jim Plunkett.
Play.
Van Eegen, again, the line springs open a gaping hole, and Van Eegen has an easy first down all the way up to the 49 where Byron Braggs made the tackle.
Exact duplication. First pass in this series was to Ramsey. They came back, handed off to Egan for the first down, came back with the pass to Ramsey around the right side, and look at his big hole around the left side for Mark Van Eegen. And of course, he does not fumble the football much. You can see he's just a big, strong kid inside, and he got the first down. Give him a little daylight, and he's going to get 5.
First and 10 from the 48.
Same play over here.
Intended for Frank Hawkins in the right flat, and the pass just missed by Plunkett.
They took Ramsey, put him deep, and then brought the halfback right on the right flat.
Jim Plunkett, of course, everybody's hero back in 1980. This is his statistical worth after the first 2 preseason games. Plunkett last year suffered a thumb injury, and the Raiders went 3 games in a row without scoring a single point. So Tom Flores benched him, brought in Mark Wilson, who finished out the year at quarterback. But they came back to summer camp this year, and Plunkett was back at the controls.
And my guess is you're going to see Wilson before it's over with. The kid's got a lot of talent. I think they're a little bit higher on Wilson than they are on Plunkett right now.
Second down and 10, and here's Frank Hawkins on a draw, and George Cumby's going to track him down from behind after a short gain.
Well, good coverage by Cumby coming from the backside. Good hustle.
The Los Angeles metropolitan area very excited about this franchise coming here. In fact, the Los Angeles Herald-Examiner had a big, complete separate section on the Raider football team in today's edition.
I'll tell you one thing, the players in Oakland are going to like it. I could have living here rather than Oakland. I tell you, you ought to get a medal for showing up here when you play Los Angeles.
Third down and 7. The ball edging into Packer territory. Down the field and caught out in the flat. There's a penalty marker down on the play, but Todd Christensen has the ball.
Great pitch that time by Plunkett. Todd Christensen just got in the middle of that zone, and Plunkett just laid it right over the linebacker for the completion.
There is a flag down, and it's coming back. Preliminary indication is holding against the Raiders.
Beautiful pass that time by Plunkett. The veteran quarterback showed you a little something there.
Mike Butler pressuring Plunkett on the play. Here comes the call.
Holding, number 65, offense, repeat third down.
Called on Mickey Marvin. So watch number 65, and you can see Marvin dragging down nose tackle Terry Jones on the play, and that's the hold. So that moves the ball back to the Los Angeles 41-yard line, where it is third down and 17. Had a hand on Plunkett, and the pass out in the flat is ruled incomplete. Took a hop before it got to Todd Christensen, and George Cumby got a free hit in there anyway.
Good pressure by Butler that time. Plunkett had nothing else to do but go to his secondary receiver in a flat. Of course, that would have been way short even if it would have been completed. But watch this. I just love to watch Ray Guy punt. Absolutely, what a great athlete this man is. And most of your punters don't have great hands. This kid could be a receiver on a lot of football teams, Al Davis tells me.
Back to receive is Ira Matthews, the former Wisconsin Badger and the former Oakland Raider. And there's a rather another short punt, but way up in the air. And it's going to go out of bounds in the vicinity of the Packer 30-yard line.
He doesn't like that. Great guy, of course. Acknowledged as probably the best punter this league's ever seen. He didn't like that. He shanked it. So when we come back, 5:34 to go, Packers on top.
Preseason Network, hope you're enjoying the football game. The Packers take over 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line. Lynn Dickey at the controls. Starting offense still in there. Intended for Jefferson across the 50-yard line, incomplete. Lynn Dickey, the Packer quarterback, the veteran, and Paul, he has had his ups and downs in his business.
You're getting a look at Jefferson here on the way back. Jefferson had Ted Watt's athletic supporter just hanging very loose that time. I tell you, he looked as if he was backpedaling. He was afraid of getting beat very deep, and he turned out on him. He had a turnout on him, was wide open. There's Lynn Dickey's stats, 13 out of 18 for 165 in the preseason.
Del Rogers comes into the Packer backfield with the play. Huckleby is out. Of course, Green Bay alternating players to call their plays this year. It is 2nd down and 10. The screen, or the flare to Ellis.
He had it right. It was a screen. Good running.
Finally bumped out of bounds by Ken Watts. Pretty good gain, and you'll see it again.
And good execution, too, Ken. Here comes the man in motion. They're going back to the left side. It's just a running quick screen around the left side. And Ellis, he's got his guard and a tackle coming out. Ellis decides to go on to the outside. The man could have been at least blocked. Nobody takes him down.
There's Gary Ellis, 3rd year from Missouri, released by the Los Angeles Rams. What a pickup he has been. It is 3rd down and 3 for the Pack.
Wide open. Huckabee there.
Caught by Huck, and it's a 1st down over midfield at the 49-yard line. Matt Millen.
Well, the way the rules
Second-year backer from Penn State made the tackle, Paul.
Ken, the way the rules are set up today, it's almost impossible to stop this kind of a play. This is the backs I was talking about. When they come out of the backfield, they work on the linebacker. Huckleby got to the inside of number 53 of the Raiders, and that's the linebacker who got beat was Rod Martin, and he's a pretty good man from that linebacker position covering back. So you can see how difficult it is when they isolate a back against the linebacker.
1st down play for Green Bay. Dickey's going to go down in the arms of Lyle Alzado. Shades of what he used to do for the Denver Broncos.
Well, he's very quick. Alzado, the great veteran, might be finding a home here in Los Angeles in the last few years of his career. Dickey had a lot of people open here, but number 77 just wouldn't let him get an opportunity to get rid of the football.
67, there's Carl Swanke, who can only look in desperation, I guess, as the big 12-year guy from Yankton College made the sack. 2nd down and 19 for Green Bay. This time Lynn gets the time, and he completes the pass at the 48-yard line to Paul Kaufman. Otis McKinney has him wrapped up there.
Got 10 back. Otis McKinney on the stop. Here's Dickey going back. Nice rhythm here. Sets up, gets rid of the football to his tight end. Kaufman, of course, with the good hands over the middle. Got 10 back.
So it's still going to be 3rd down and about 9 for Green Bay. So Paul Kaufman's stats there. He is firmly entrenched at that tight end spot.
Jefferson against Lester Hayes at the top of your screen. A pretty good matchup.
Flags are down, and he was throwing the fly pattern down there for J.J. Boy, you call that one for.
Well, it was almost an automatic pattern that time, even though there was a whistle on the play. Of course, that stops it, and Jefferson slowed up.
And Lynn Dickey got what he wanted. He drew the Raiders offside, so now it'll be 3rd and 4 instead of 3rd and 9. Now he's got a little bit of a run-pass option to call.
I'll tell you one thing. Watts, who plays the opposite side as Lester Hayes, is a little bit more leery, I think, of Jefferson's speed. Well, we had, what, 1st or 2nd 20. We got 3rd and 4 now. Now, let's see if the Packers usually like to go into their split backfield situation here and work on the linebackers. There go your backs.
Dickey 3 out of 6 for 30 yards so far tonight. Jefferson at the top of your screen, Lofton to the bottom. Gary Ellis and Ted Hendricks has got him, and the Stork strikes again. Former Green Bay Packer. How many big plays have you seen the Stork come up with in the past?
I think he's the most dominant linebacker in the 1970s. He's just have a history of being in the right spot at the right time. He blocks kicks. He makes the tackles. And you can see right now he's been in the league 14 years. He's got the experience. He could smell a little delay like that.
Ray Stackowitz standing back on his own 37-yard line to punt on 4th down and 9. Clee Montgomery, the return man for the Raiders. Kind of a line drive job that's going to go
beautiful. Looks like
into
a great
the end
kick.
zone, and they're going to call it a touchback. Boy, it looked like it almost snuck out of bounds there on the 1-yard line. A 48-yard punt. And Ray Stackowitz, the second-year man from Michigan State, almost had a beauty.
That was almost an outstanding punt. That was very, very close from going out at the 1-foot line, I tell you.
You're going to see that kick again, and you'll see just how close it did come to really pinning the Raiders back. Stackowitz, of course, much maligned last year after he had, frankly, a very shaky year punting the football. He was only 11th best in the NFC, and you see right there how close it came.
I tell you, good camera work on that shot. That ball would have taken a little left turn. It would have been out on the 1-foot line.
Stackowitz punting much better this year in the preseason.
11th best in the NFC. I like that.
It is first down for the Raiders in Plunkett. Caught over the middle at the 27-yard line by Malcolm Barnwell. And it's going to be short of the first down by about 3 yards. Watch it again from ground level.
Now, so many teams go into the zone defense today that all your teams in professional football go to your backs, a little delay out of the backfield, because most of your linebackers are a little bit deep, as the Packers were right there. It's almost becoming situation football. There's Plunkett's stats, 4 out of 6 for 38.
It is second down and 3. And Van Egan is close to a first down, and probably has it as he nudges up over that 30. Randy Scott on the tackle for the Packers. Randy Scott battling his former college teammate Rich Wingo for a job at inside linebacker in that 3-4 defense. That's one of the livelier battles in summer camp. Raiders first and 10 on their own 30. We're down to 1:35 to play in the first quarter, and the Packers lead at 3-0. And Plunkett is sacked by Casey Merrill. Back in the vicinity of the Raider 25-yard line. Merrill, of course, in a battle for a starting job at defensive end with Ezra Johnson. Ezra is the #1 man right now, but Casey's looking to improve that with plays like this.
Here comes Casey, and a good move to get to quarterback. I tell you, the Packers got some good young defensive linemen that are learning.
8 quarterback sacks, including the one you just saw during the 1982 preseason. He beat Kirk Marsh that time, who was trying to pass protect for Plunkett. It's second down and 15. The pitch back here to number 34, Greg Pruitt, and he's bounced out of bounds by Murphy and Hood at about the 36 or 7-yard line.
Well, Pruitt, of course, was a great all-purpose back for the University of Oklahoma, and of course he came over in a trade from Cleveland. Here's a quick pitch around the right side. Good blocking on this play. Watch Pruitt follow his blocking. The halfback didn't really get a good block, but he sealed off the inside. Pruitt gets around the right side.
One guy we've not seen in that Raider backfield yet is Heisman Trophy winner Marcus Allen, their #1 draft choice. It is going to be third down and 3 for Los Angeles. Plunkett with a lot of time completes it to Pruitt. Maybe short of the first down, though. He had to get to the 40, and Kurt Allerman might have brought him down short of that.
Good coverage by Allerman, linebacker there.
And it is going to be a 4th down for the Raiders. And Tom Flores is not inclined to take a chance, apparently.
Not when you got a guy like Ray Guy. And, of course, the last time I said it, he squibbed one off to the left side, and you don't see that too often from that great punter.
He has been very un-Ray Guy-ish so far tonight. He has punts of 39 and 29 yards. So he is looking to atone for that right now. Del Rogers back to return the punt for, or I should say, Ira Matthews. And Johnny Gray back to return the punt. Taken by Matthews at the 14-yard line, and a fair catch right there. A 48-yard punt by Ray Guy, and that's a little more what we're accustomed to seeing. 3-0 Packers, and timeout on the field. The first quarter has come to an end here in Los Angeles, and there are the statistics. The Raiders dominating in the rushing category and leading in passing and total yards. But the Packers lead on the scoreboard 3-0 as we start the second quarter. And Green Bay first and 10 on their own 15-yard line. Lynn Dickey, the quarterback.
The difference was field position. The Packers had excellent field position to start off their drives.
Huckleby for 4 yards up the middle. Howie Long and Dave Browning. And Ted Hendricks on the tackle. It'll be second down and about 6 for the Raiders. Packers, before the Packers, I
How old
should say.
Hendricks, Ken? He's about, what, 35, 36?
He's about that.
I've been watching him. He still has fine reactions.
Dickey turns around and hands a football off to Gary Ellis. He finds some running room up there and should have the first at the 25.
Good quick pop there.
You'll watch it again, and Ellis knows how to butt heads.
Ellis just off the left side. Good blocking with the left guard and the left tackle right here, because he was not even touched at the line of scrimmage.
Coming into the ball game, Ellis had carried 6 times for 18 yards, and he does have the first down. The 28-yard line. Over the middle and incomplete, intended for Lofton, who had to come back between a couple of guys, including linebacker Bob Nelson, to try to catch the football.
It was catchable. Good pitch that time by Dickey. It was just a little stop pattern on the outside. And it was right a little above the numbers. Watch Dickey here. He's got his key right here on James Lofton. Lofton hooks up, is coming back for the football right now, just the way you should. Good coverage there, and normally he'll catch those kind. Five catches so far this season, 78 yards.
So the green and gold has a second down and 10 from their own 28. Jefferson is wide to the bottom of your screen and Lofton to the top. Again going for Lofton, and a pass a little bit high.
A little high. Could have been caught also.
Glenn Dickey says, gee, those guys usually catch those passes. And a holding penalty coming up on the Packers, as you see. That's the third holding penalty already in the football game.
Ted Watts, who plays the opposite corner as Lester Hayes, gives you a lot more room on that side on pass defense than Lester Hayes. Lester Hayes covers you a little bit more tight. So they are going to decline the penalty here, take the down, 3rd and 10.
Ball on the Green Bay 28.
Come right back with the deep turn-in over here. Lofton was wide open. Let's see if they cover it. They're going to go to a slot with Jefferson and Lofton on the same side. They'll zone it over there.
Well, it doesn't make any difference because Dickey is run over.
Forget the coverage back there when you get that pass rush, Ken.
Reuben Vaughn was one of the guys who made the big sack, and another guy was 75, and we don't have a 75 listed on our Raider guide right now. But at any rate, it is 4th down and 18. So Stakowitz is back for his 3rd punt of the game. His last one was 48 yards and almost went out of bounds on the 1-yard line. Lee Montgomery to return. And a flag is down.
Good punt.
Montgomery is down at the 35-yard line. Good tackle down there by Bill Whitaker. Let's check out the flag first. That was a punt of 47 yards by Stakowitz. And the Packers are offsides. Let's go down on the field while they discuss this to Joe Schmidt.
Ken, the Packer offensive line is in for a real test today because Oakland, or I should say Los Angeles, has sacked the quarterback 8 times in the first 2 games. They've sacked him twice today. And the Packer offensive line, they are sticking with their #1 unit. They're making all kinds of changes on defense, but they're sticking with their #1 offensive line, and so far they're getting beat. All right, back up to you guys.
Looks as though the Raiders are going to accept the penalty. Looking for better field position.
Yeah, Stachowicz got off a good punt there, and good coverage by Whitaker, so we'll have to do it all over again.
Number 30, offense, repeat 4th down.
No wonder Whitaker had good coverage. He was about 8 yards offside.
So Stack has to move back to his own 1-yard line now to punt the football. And now Greg Pruitt is the deep man for the Raiders. And this punt is more of a low-line drive, and Pruitt's going to have a crack at a run back. Penalty marker down, and the football is loose. The Raiders recover at the 45. It was a 46-yard punt. And a flag is down.
A good blocking that time by the Raider return team. Pruitt returned about 14 yards, coughed up the football. I think you might have a clip here.
Frank Hawkins was the guy who recovered the ball for Los Angeles.
That's referee Gordon McCarter, number 48.
And he indicates illegal use of hands on the Raiders. The officials, by the way, tonight, the referee Gordon McCarter, the umpire Ron Bochan, head linesman Tom Johnson, the line judge Jack Fetty, back judge J.W. Sanders, side judge Dean Look, and the field judge Pat Maletti.
And you notice something this year that's a little bit different. On the umpire, the head linesman, the line judge, they have those jobs written on their back now. They're in the letters. The head linesman would be HL, line judge would be LJ, and of course that helps us up here in the booth. There's your
back, above the waist, receiving team during the return. 1st down.
Of course, everybody knows who the referee is. They're the ones usually with the big mouth.
Play is stopped on the field with 12:53 to play in the first half, and the score is the Packers 3, the Raiders 0.
Last year's Heisman Trophy winner, Marcus Allen, Ken, and Al Davis, before the ball game, told me they're really high on this kid. Of course, he was a #1 draft choice. He said he just knows how to run. He has a knack to know when to cut in and out, and he's just a fine athlete. He's got a good pair of hands. You can put him in the passing game, feel confident that he's going to catch the football, and he's going to make a great addition here. Of course, he's played here. He's a hometown favorite. They're going to love him here.
And he's in that Raider backfield now along with Frank Hawkins. It's 1st and 10 for Los Angeles. They're on their own 34-yard line. Plunkett is still the quarterback.
Oh, Marcus Allen's wide open.
He goes instead for Barnwell, who's in a lot of traffic, and it's incomplete. Estes Hood down there bumping him along with Mo Harvey.
I want to tell you, now there is the perfect example of what I don't like Jim Plunkett. Jim Plunkett had made up his mind to go deep to number 80. He didn't have any idea to look over the field. Marcus Allen was so wide open down the left sidelines, all he had to do was look around a little bit. Now watch him. He's coming out of the backfield. Now, right down the left sideline, nobody's near him, but Plunkett had made up his mind to go deep. In the meantime, there's 4 white jerseys around the receiver down there. Allen was wide open. All he had to do was look around. That would have been about a 40-yard pass.
So Mr. Plunkett now 5 out of 8 in the passing department, 2nd and 10, and here comes Allen.
Look at that move. Look how quick. Is that a quick 7 yards, Ken? Do you notice how quick? He picked up 7 yards. He looked like he picked up 2, maybe 3. Watch this move. Off the inside. He knows he could see the field right away. He knew exactly where he was going to go. The great runner from USC moves outside and makes a 7-yard gain look like a 3-yard pickup. Just very smooth.
Mark Murphy and Virgil Ivers on the tackle. 3rd down and a couple. Showing you something else there, the ability to rebound off the initial hit, and he's got the 1st down. Lewis on the tackle.
I think everyone, including the Green Bay Packer defense, thought the fullback had the ball, thought Hawkins had the football, but he hands it off to the halfback. There's the fullback going in front of Marcus Allen. Now, Allen runs into the fullback. It's not his fault. He was jammed. But the intelligence of his running, he comes off the block, goes around the left side, switches the football like a good runner should, puts that right shoulder down, and I like what I see of this young man.
So the Raiders come up 1st and 10 on the 47. Barnwell and Cliff Branch are both going to line up wide to the bottom of your screen. Intended out there for Van Egan, penalty marker down. And Randy Scott winds up with a football.
Thrown towards the offensive line. Could be holding.
And it's against the Packers. So apparently one of the receivers trying to get out into a pattern. By the way, this is the first game that the Los Angeles Raiders have ever played in the Coliseum. It is, of course, not the first time they've ever been here.
1st and 10.
They played here 6 times before. Here's the call.
Holding, number 93, defense, automatic first down.
That is the 4th-round draft choice, Robert Brown, out of VPI. Raiders played here against the Rams 6 times.
As Oakland, of course. And of course, this is the first time as the LA Raiders, right?
That's right. Crowd of maybe 40,000 here to see them in their debut. There is an interested spectator. That is John Robinson.
One of the great coaches in college football, John Robinson. He's had plenty of opportunities to go pro, I'll tell you that. But he'd rather stay right here in sunny California, and who could blame him?
He's the coach, of course, at USC. 1st and 10, Raiders. Intercepted by Mo Harvey. And Harvey comes back across the 30-yard line, and there is a guy that just seems to know where the football is.
And it's pitches like that, Ken, it's going to make Mark Wilson your #1 quarterback for L.A. before this year is getting up. This is the type of play that Plunkett came out of the hat with 2 years ago. Just take it, throw it downfield, and hope that the zone would not be there for the interception. Now look at the zone. Here's Harvey coming across, free safety, interception, easy interception. He overthrew the football, and Plunkett went to the well once too often right here. So the Packers got the ball when we come back, and they lead 3-0.
And linebackers have really been doing a job. 6 interceptions. 3 of them by Mo Harvey in the preseason. 1st and 10, Green Bay. They're on their own 29. David Whitehurst now the quarterback, out to Harlan Huckabee.
Good. I was going to say good move, but you got to have the football, kid.
Rod Martin made the tackle for the Raiders. About 20 yards on the pass play. Watch David Whitehurst on his first offensive play.
Just a half fake to Ellis up the middle. Huckabee does a good job here getting down the sidelines. He beat the linebacker. Now he makes a very good cut here. He's trying to change the football, and he coughs it up right there. Oops. I don't think he was actually hit hard. He's just got a little bit too anxious to control the football.
1st and 10, Green Bay in their own 49. Del Rogers picking his way through the crowd for 5 or 6 yards. Rogers, one of the top rushers in the Western Athletic Conference. Packers took him in the 3rd round. Green Bay did not have a 2nd-round choice this year. Rushed for over 1,000 yards. He was the first man in the history of the University of Utah to do that.
There's Bob Schnucker talking to Rogers along the sidelines, the new offensive coordinator of Green Bay.
Ball lying on the 45 of Los Angeles now. It's going to be 2nd down and 4. David Whitehurst, one of 4 quarterbacks that Bart Starr said he hopes to find time for in this ball game. He also, of course, wants to play Rich Campbell and Dan Minucci. 2nd and 4.
They play a quarter apiece.
Huckabee, Hendricks. He takes up a lot of space back there.
He's something. He's something. I always see him down in Miami in the offseason. He is a gay blade, I'll tell you that. He likes the good times. I'll tell you one thing, he can play some football.
Down there in the bottom, Bob Nelson was making the tackle.
Bob Nelson made the tackle. He's just kind of helped out. But Hendricks, as I said before, I think he's probably the most dominating linebacker that played football in the 70s.
It's 3rd down and 4 now for the Packers. And Del Rogers has to pounce on the ball for a loss. And now penalty flags go flying as a fight breaks out a little further downfield. And officials are going to jump in and break that up. Larry McCarron was going after somebody down there. And all kinds of flags are down. And it may take them a while to sort this out. 74 is Tim Huffman with a helmet off.
And that is a no-no. Keep that helmet on, Tim. There's going to be a fight down there. That's not the thing to do, is have that helmet in your hand. Put it on your head.
So now the officials got to figure out who threw the first punch at who and try to break this thing up. Packers scored in the first quarter on a 49-yard field goal by Eddie Garcia as Tom Flores and his Raider coaching staff looks on. And Bart Starr as well.
It's very important. If Oakland started this and then got called, it'd be an automatic first down.
Number 55 defense. Number 64.
Yeah, offsetting penalties. Offsetting.
The penalty's verified.
And Sid Kitson had something to say about it too. Kitson apparently the guy involved in the fracas for the Packers. And it was Matt Millen for the Raiders that the penalty was called on.
Go ahead and kick it. Offsetting penalty.
So it's 4th down and 4, and Ray Stankiewicz, who's been a busy man, unfortunately, in this first half, drops back to his own 40-yard line. And the Raiders have got Greg Pruitt back in their own 10 to return.
If he could take it and run it, he'd get the first down.
Stankiewicz threw a pass last year.
Raiders were offsides.
Down.
Raiders were offsides, I think, Ken.
And it's another good punt. Oh, Ray Stankiewicz has really kicked the ball well in the preseason.
I think there was movement at the top of your screen. The defensive right end, I think, for Oakland was offsides. That's right. And I want to tell you, that is a very stupid mistake as far as the Raiders are concerned. Very bad mental error here. 4th down. The Raiders are going to get the ball back, even though it was a great punt by Stankiewicz. It's going to be a first down inside the 40 for Green Bay.
Larry McCarron there with the official. And watch how close Ray Stankiewicz came to getting decked here. Ball cleanly away, and he trips over the back. I guess they wouldn't call that a penalty technically.
No, I don't think there's much intent there.
Offside. Defense. The penalty creates a first down.
He'll hear about that in the films. That is an absolute no-no. 3rd and 4, somebody go offsides on 4th down.
There's
the
the
worst mistakes in football.
Veteran quarterback from Furman, David Whitehurst. 1st and 10, the ball's on the Raider 40. Here goes Gary Ellis. Huckabee tried to lead the blocking for him, but there just wasn't any place to go, and he goes down at about the 36. Let's go down to Joe Schmidt on the field.
Ken, with John Robinson, the coach at USC, and you're now sharing the L.A. Coliseum with the L.A. Raiders. What do you think about it?
Well, I think it's great. You know, we're just a couple blocks away. I'm sneaking over here watching a quarter or two. It's great to have.
How well is your football team looking this year?
Well, you know, we're undefeated at this point. We haven't played. I think we're all right. We got a new young quarterback that may be a great player.
All right. Good luck to you this year, Coach, but I'm sure we'll see you in the Rose Bowl.
Packers with a 2nd down and 7. The ball is on the Raider 37. Whitey over the middle to Ellis. He's going to be shy of the first, and a penalty marker down back by the quarterback. And Bob Nelson made the tackle on Ellis. But a penalty marker is down back where the quarterback threw the football, and the Packers are going to get a hold.
I think it may be Huffman. Number 74. This flag was thrown in his vicinity.
So we have had a lot of yellow flags in this contest. Many more than we seem to see in the first 2 games of the Packer preseason.
Did you get out on the town last night, Ken? You got in town?
Got to do a little sightseeing.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you get in early?
Holding. Number 72. Offense. Repeat 2nd down.
It's called on Brad Oates. What was that question?
Did you get back to the hotel early, or you were out on the town?
It was an early night.
It was an early night.
Had a lot of work to do.
What did you do last night, Ken?
We just did a little sights.
Did you?
That's all. Meanwhile, back at the game, it's 2nd down and 17. The ball is on the 47-yard line of the Raiders.
McGee and I did a little sightseeing.
Yeah, I'll bet you did. Whitehurst way down, completes the pass to Lofton at the 29, and James has had a little trouble holding on to it tonight, but he got that one well in tow, and Ted Watts made the tackle.
Deep square end has been open all night on the left side over there. As I said, Ted Watts over on the left side here. As you look, Whitehurst stands right in that pocket, just throws it over, and a good catch and a good pitch for the first down with Lofton. Watts gives you a little bit more room than Lester Hayes does covering on the outside.
There's Lofton, Mr. Everything, I guess, from Stanford. 75-yard pass completion against the Atlanta Falcons last year. 1st and 10 play. The ball is on the Raider 28. And batted down, I think, by Dave Browning from his defensive end position.
Correct.
And Ted Hendricks, or check that, number 73, Browning, is down. And being helped off. Promising young football player that I'm sure the Raiders don't want to lose at this point. So the ball comes back to the 28. And it's going to be 2nd down and 10. Packer quarterback David Whitehurst, one of just 6 passers in Green Bay history to throw for 5,000 yards in a career. Whitey started 34 consecutive games before losing his starting job in November of '79 to Lynn Dick. The reverse to Lofton.
They got some people in front. Look at Whitehurst block.
David Whitehurst down there trying to throw a block on the Raiders' Burgess Owens.
And folks, this play, you're going to see this play the first game of the season. I make a prediction of that. You watch. Here's Huckabee. Pitch to the right side. Here comes Lofton the back on the reverse. And right now, he's got some open field in front of him. Got the tackle out front. There's Whitehurst. Huffman also. Let's see if they do anything. Well, they took one of the backs out. But they got enough for the first down. Ball placed at the 16-yard line.
Whitey says they don't pay me to block anywhere. 1st and 10, Packers, ball down on the Los Angeles 17-yard line. Up the middle comes Del Rogers, but not far up the middle. Tackle on the play by Hendricks and Wilkinson.
No blocking up front. Complete breakdown in blocking. Defensive penetration too strong.
So it's going to be 2nd down. And he might have lost a half a yard to a yard there. 6:43 to play in the first half, and the Packers leading at 3-0 and threatening again.
Beautiful night here in Los Angeles.
In the flat, Huckabee can't keep his balance and goes down close to the 13-yard line. Burgess Owens was out there to make sure he wasn't going anywhere.
He lost his balance a little bit, and the pass was a little bit behind him. It doesn't look like David Whitehurst got set, too. He didn't look too much like a quarterback there. He just got rid of it out of fear, but Huckabee caught it. He wasn't set up. There's Bart on the sideline. Love to see 7 put on the board here, and 3rd and long, 3rd and 7. That's Jefferson here.
He was throwing for Lofton, and a little bumping going, or I should say Jefferson. And Lester Hayes and he doing a little bump and run down the sideline. Incomplete, and it's going to be 4th down and 7, and we'll probably take a look at the field goal kicking leg of Garcia one more time. Stackowitz to hold, and this one will be from about 31 yards out. one is going to slide too far to the right. No good. Football is a funny game sometimes. Garcia plugged one from 49 with no problem, but misses one from 31. Timeout on the field, and the Packers lead 3-0. We'll return.
When you care for someone, you have to find the time to show it.
Go hand in hand in hand in great America.
Great America. It's a place to spend more time on love.
I'm glad Dad took the day off.
Hey, nothing's more important to me than you.
Go hand in hand in great America.
Try to imagine how you'd replace all this if your home was ever destroyed. With standard homeowners insurance, you'd be paid only the depreciated cash value. But with an American Family homeowners policy, you can now be paid current replacement costs. Certain limitations, of course. Coverage you have on your house is now available for the contents of your house.
American Family Insurance.
Your American Family agent is a family insurance specialist. See the yellow pages.
Ken Lass along with Paul Hornung and Joe Schmidt from the Los Angeles Coliseum in a game that is a rematch of Super Bowl II back in 1968. The Packers and the, at that time, Oakland Raiders. In fact, that was the first time these two franchises met. Raiders 1st and 10, and Marcus Allen is going nowhere in the arms of Estes Hood. And that's about the first time Marcus Allen has gone nowhere when he's touched the football tonight. Packers and the Raiders have met 3 times during regular season play, and the Raiders have won every one of those games. And Super Bowl II is the only time both teams have met in postseason play, and the Packers won that one 33-14. Cliff Branch wide to the bottom, and Malcolm Barnwell to the top on 2nd down and 12. Complete to Allen to the 26-yard line. Packer tackled by Guy Prather. Watch it again, and Plunkett does a fair job of buying himself a little time here, Paul.
Yep. Throws back against the grain here. Goes back to set up. He's going to move it a little bit to the right. He feels the pressure. He's got his eye on Allen. Throws back against the grain. Kind of throws it up for grabs. Not too good a pitch. Prather makes a stop.
It's one Heisman Trophy winner throwing to another on that play. 3rd down and 3 for Los Angeles. Ball nosing up over their own 26. In the flat, it is caught nicely by Cliff Branch. Livers on the tackle. And it's going to be a 1st down for Los Angeles. Cliff Branch, one of the all-time greats, I guess, out of the wide receivers.
Still has the good speed, too. This is the first time he's gone to Branch all night. Now he looks over the field. He got to move to the outside. Cliff Branch, good catch. Picked up 8 in the 1st down.
Virgil Livers getting an early look in this ball game at the corner. Mark Lee and Mike McCoy are normally the starters at the defensive corners for Green Bay. 1st and 10. Here comes Allen.
Look at that nice move.
Guy Prather just didn't want to let go.
Still nice little move by Allen. Prather, real good defensive move here. Pulling him down by the jersey. Watch Allen. Mark Van Eegen on the inside. A good move by Prather playing off the block there, the tight end or the tackle, and just gets Allen by the jersey. Good stop.
Guy Prather playing at that outside linebacker spot in the place of Mike Douglas, who has had a hamstring injury that's bothered him a lot, and he will not play tonight. 2nd down and 7, Raiders. And out of bounds is Cliff Branch. Livers bumps him, but he's got a Raider 1st down at about the 48 or 9-yard line.
Good call on the part of the Raiders. They had the Packers in a man-to-man situation out here with Estes Hood against Cliff Branch, and there was no contest. When you see Plunkett just picks him up right away, you've got to give him a little room. Hood had the responsibility to cover him man-to-man all the way, so you got to First of all, giving that deep pattern, take that away from me, and just turned out for an easy first down.
Cliff Branch's stock and trade, of course, that fly pattern. He's caught a lot of long touchdown bombs. 1st and 10 pass, and where's Plunkett going? Right there is where he's going to Todd Christensen, and he'll have another first down at the Green Bay 36-yard line. Chet Parlavecchio and John Anderson on the tackle for Green Bay.
I'll tell you, Plunkett getting a little more tricky as he gets older. He moved around pretty good back there. I don't think he's quite that agile, but he sure made a disbeliever of me here. Plunkett moves around a la Fran Tarkenton here and rolls out to the right, turns his back, comes back to the left, sets up and finds an open man downfield. That's Todd Christensen for the first down. Gets inside the 40-yard line, picked up 16.
And Plunkett steps off of the line as the 2-minute warning is called here at the Los Angeles Coliseum. So the Packers still with a lead on the scoreboard, but the Raiders threatening. It's 3-0, and we'll return after this. Packers, let's go down on the field to Joe Schmidt.
If you want to have some fun, Ken, check out number 94 for the Packers, Chet Parlavecchio, the rookie linebacker out of Penn State. He is one of the most intense players on the Packers, and if he ever makes the tackle, watch out. He does a little victory dance after that. All right, Ken.
Shades of Dave Roller. Parlavecchio taken on the 6th round by Green Bay, and the Raiders have a 1st and 10. Jim Plunkett has completed 4 passes on this drive. He's got him up for the Green Bay 36. He sticks a little pass out there to Hawkins. Dragged down by Mark Murphy.
Hawkins should have gotten out of bounds there to stop the clock. He had an opportunity to, just delayed a little bit on the inside. He's got to realize the situation that he's playing under now. It's a minute 41 to go. He's got to get outside with that football right there. He tried to come back inside a little bit. He should have headed for the out of bounds to stop the clock.
2nd down and 2. Barnwell to the top and Branch to the bottom. It's a draw, and a penalty marker is down, and so is Hawkins, and he lost the football, and the Packers have the ball, but check out the penalty first. That is Casey Merrill who comes out of there with a ball, but there's a flag down.
Could be against Oakland. If it's against Oakland, it's Green Bay's football.
Los Angeles.
What did I say, Oakland too?
You said Oakland too.
There we go, motion. Number 66, offense. Declined. Green Bay, first down.
How about that turn of events? Now the Packers may try to go for a little 2-minute drill of their own here. We have 1:21 to play in the first half.
Be a good spot to practice it.
David Whitehurst in there for his 2nd series. And he's working with Turdell Middleton as one of his running backs now. It's the first time we'll get a look at that veteran from Memphis State.
Let's see if they go to their 2-minute. Here comes the split. Watch the backs. They fan out of the backfield, work on the linebackers. They've got their full complement, 3 timeouts left.
Jim Jensen, the other back.
Here it comes. Back's wide open out here.
Over the middle, a nice catch by J.J. at about the 43 or 4-yard line, and the Packers want to go without a huddle. First reception by Jefferson. Clock running at 1:04 and 1:03. And intended for Middleton and incomplete at midfield. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Good pass right through his hands.
58 seconds now to play in the first half. Turdell Middleton has said that he may ask the Packers to trade him if they cannot find more playing time for him than they found last year. Turdell, a former 1,000-yard rusher, and we are trying to pick up the number of the Packer player doubled over there. We will take a break. It's 3-0 Green Bay. We'll be back. He, of course, the big 300-pounder that they obtained in a trade with the Houston Oilers for a 3rd-round draft choice, and you see him being helped off right there. And I'll tell you, helping that guy off the field is no mean trick, Paul.
What's he go in at 3 what?
Well, he came here at about 316. Claims now he's down to 305.
11 pounds is not a lot of weight in comparison to what big guys usually lose, though. 11 pounds.
So Angelo, who has been working 2nd string at one of those tackle positions. Look at the turnover ratio. The Raiders with 3 and the Packers with none. Now the Raiders turned the ball over 5 times last week, and that cost them the game against the Detroit Lions. They lost it 30-16. We have 58 seconds to play in the half, and the Packers working on a 2nd and 10.
Blitz.
And he was trying to hit Mike Meade, the 5th-round draft choice out of Penn State, with the screen.
I tell you, if they could have gotten that screen off, they had the right play call at the right time. They had a blitz on that side. If they could have slipped over into that screen, it would have been a big gain.
Jim Jensen comes in with the play for Whitehurst. It'll be 3rd down and 10, and the clock is down to 53.
I tell you, I guess it's a little critical for some of these running backs on the Green Bay Packer roster. They've got, what, still about 9 or 10 or 11. And they're going to have to at least cut 4 or 5 of these kids.
And cut down day is Tuesday. They've got to go down to 60 by Tuesday. They've got 70 on the roster. 3rd down and 10.
Again.
Jensen, he'll go nowhere in the arms of Rod Martin. Rod Martin, one of the heroes of Super Bowl 15 back in 1980.
They'll call timeout now and stop the clock. Yep.
Was it 3 interceptions that Rod Martin had in the Super Bowl game against the Eagles? So the Raiders now stop the clock with 40 seconds to play, and these two teams just take turns with 2-minute drills here.
You know, I think Oakland, and now, of course, they're called L.A. Oakland was the winningest team in the 19 years that they had their franchise. They're the winningest team
That's right.
in the NFL.
In fact, since 1963, when Al Davis took over the organization, their winning percentage is up over 70%, which is the best of any team in pro football.
Well, it took him 2.5-year court battle to get this team here. Then why not? I'd rather be in L.A. than Oakland. I could say that. Honestly, I guess everybody else would too.
It's easier to say when you're in L.A. at the time, though,
absolutely.
I must say. Stakowitz back on his own 25.
Nice punt.
Pruitt fielding it at the 15. And George Cumby may have saved a touchdown with a tackle at the 30. It's a 44-yard punt by Stakowitz and a 15-yard return for the former Cleveland Brown.
Well, that was going to be a lot longer run back there if it wasn't for George Cumby's tackle. Watch Pruitt here, and he's got the good explosive speed. He sees a little crease, and he bursts right up through there. And number 52 on a good tackle, George Cumby. And the next guy to make a tackle at him, if he got by there, was Stakowitz, the punter.
And that was about it. So the Raiders now with 28 seconds to try to move the football. They trail 3-0, and Plunkett is the quarterback. Caught at the 44-yard line by Malcolm Barnwell. Prather on the tackle for Green Bay, and the Raiders will stop the clock with 18 seconds to play, and that's their 2nd timeout. 1 left. Watch the pass again from Jim Plunkett.
Plunkett steps up into the pocket. Good pass protection. Defensive pressure kind of overrunning the quarterback here. Prather on the stop.
We were talking about the running back situation for Green Bay. The Raiders also face some tough decisions as to who to keep back there in their backfield, and not only who to keep, but who to start.
You watch King and Marcus Allen. That's my guess who's going to start for them by the time the season starts. Of course, they got Mark Van Egan, a 1,000-yard rusher.
Frank Hawkins, a second-year man who's been good for them. They've got Pruitt now.
Greg Pruitt's going to see a lot of action. And, of course, especially on passing situations, that's an important thing to bring out, Ken, because I think professional football in the 80s, that's going to be the most demanding thing. It's going to be situation football. You're going to see a lot of substitutions on 2nd and 3rd down. On offense, they're going to put in special guys to run the football, special guys to catch the football, and the defense is going to do the same thing.
1st and 10, and Plunkett upstairs, and a wide-open Cliff Branch has got him in field goal territory way down at the 26-yard line. Mo Harvey on the tackle.
And they'll take another timeout. They'll get another play in, and then the field goal maybe.
29-yard pass, and there's 8 seconds left to play in the half, and the Raiders are threatening to hit the board.
And here it is again, situation, professional football. You got your receivers in there in your 2-minute drill. Plunkett stepping up in the pocket nicely. Good pass protection down the middle. Number 21, Cliff Branch. Estes Hood there on the tackle. He missed him, but Raiders have a chance here for a field goal and probably get one more playoff before a field goal attempt.
I think that was Livers that missed him.
Was it Livers? All right.
28 instead of 30.
Yeah.
We're way upstairs here in the Coliseum, and it is a little tough to see the numbers sometimes distinctly.
You know, let me get back on that one point because I think it's going to be important in the 80s because I think it's going to be situation football. I think you see most of your offenses, if they run the football and get 1 or 2 yards on first down, your tight ends are going to come out. Maybe one of your running backs are going to come out. They're going to put 4 receivers in. Then the defense has to counter that. You're going to see a lot of teams taking out all their linebackers and putting in defensive backs on 2nd and 3rd down.
Pack is what they're saying, and let's go down on the field to Joe Schmidt.
Ken, I'm with Jim Hardy, the general manager of the LA Coliseum, and they've got a new grass here that could revolutionize football.
I think so, Joe. It's a high play field put in by Tavoloni Construction, and with the new drainage system that we have down below, we have our irrigation and fertilization from down below. We have sensors, moisture sensors that are controlled electronically by a console so that we know what the condition of the subsoil is all the time. We have no dirt there. There's a growing medium so that even in a rainstorm, there's no dirt to get muddy, and there will always be stable footing here no matter what the weather is.
And this field does get used an awful lot.
It gets used an awful lot by soccer, by high school football, USC, the Raiders, and the upcoming United States Football League, and we were able to eliminate the crown so it's better for the players to play on. There's a thick thatcher grass, and as a layman and not an agronomist, I can tell you this is the very finest in natural football turfs in the world.
Well, it looks beautiful. Thanks, Jim. Back up to the booth.
Okay, I'm going to have to ask Paul Hornung what an agronomist is. I'm not even sure.
Agronomists can take care of grass.
All right, I'll take your word for it. Chris Barr to kick off.
The kind you play on, you know, on the ground.
Yeah, I understand. Here's Ira Matthews coming back with a football up around the 25-yard line. And he'll stretch it forward to about the 26 as we start the second half. Raider tackle on the play by number 58, Jack Squirick. So David Whitehurst is going to come in at quarterback to start the third quarter. David came in about midway through the second period and took over for Lynn Dickey, who had his ups and downs in his brief moment of action tonight. Turdell Middleton will be one of his running backs. There's Whitey's stats in the first half, 4 out of 8 for 58. First and 10 from the 26. Gary Ellis, the other running back. And that is who he was looking for, but really nowhere near him out in the flat. And Jeff Barnes, a Raider linebacker, had the best crack at the football.
It's a good thing, and was nowhere near the receiver then. It would have been an interception for 6. But getting back to the agronomist here, this field is the exact duplicate of a field at Purdue University. Purdue University has one of the best schools of agronomy in the United States, and I think they've discovered this field there, and they have one. They've proven it to be one of the best playing fields in the United States, hence they have one here.
Second down and 10 for the Pack. Up the middle is Ellis for a couple of tough yards where Cal Peterson brings him down to the ground. Going to take an isolation look at the Packer line here.
End zone. Looks like it was a very nice hole there, but the guard peels back to the inside, makes a good block, and a linebacker makes a stop on Ellis. Picked up 5. Good blocking up front.
So now you got a tricky little call. Third down at about 5 or 6. The ball on Green Bay's own 30-yard line.
Well, they stun him.
And Whitey zips the ball to James Lofton, and he had some mustard on that pitch. First down on the Raider 46-yard line.
Boy, good blocking by that offensive line of the Green Bay Packers. Now watch the guys in the black and silver. They're going to stun on defense. There you go. You see the man head of the center. He goes outside. They pick up the stunt beautifully. A good pitch by Whitehurst. Here comes Lofton right over the middle. Ball right on target for the first down. Good pitch and a good catch.
First and 10, Green Bay on the Raider 46.
Three-man pattern going for the home run to Jefferson. Right through his arms.
James Davis down with him on the near sideline.
Well, you won't see that too often. Jefferson beat Davis right down a flat pattern down the right sideline. We've got J.J. on the ISO for you. Good camera work coming up. Just a little fake to the inside, and now it's a foot race. And Jefferson, of course, beats Davis easily. Now watch him. He's got his eyes on the football. This is the kind of catch that you're accustomed to seeing Jefferson make. It goes right through his arms. Could have been 6.
Second down and 10 Pack on the Raider 46-yard line. Lofton and J.J. are both wide to the bottom of your screen. Over the middle, they go the short route to Lofton at the 40. There's a penalty marker down. Monty Jackson with a stop on Lofton. We saw a lot of yellow flags in the first half. And this is the first of the second. And it's a motion on Green Bay. So we'll see how the Raiders choose to work this. They'll take the walk-off.
Second and 15.
And it'll bring up a 2nd and 15 situation. Here comes the call.
Here we go, motion. Offensive right end. Repeat, 2nd down.
Well, if he's referring to the tight end on the play, it would have been Paul Kaufman, who has now left the game and been replaced by Gary Lewis. Ball on the 49. It's a 2nd down play for the Pack. Over the middle to Lofton again, and they're giving number 80 a workout tonight. He's down there around the 45. He's going to be about 10 yards short of the first down. James Davis on the Raider tackle. Let's take a look at the pass protection for number 17 here.
Good quick setup by the offensive line. L.A. Raiders getting off the ball a little bit slow. They've got the one-man double teamed over here on the left side. Whitehurst steps up inside.
54, the center was Larry McCarron. 3rd down and 9 for Green Bay.
4-man rush by L.A. coming up. Little stunt. And it works, and it works.
And that's our mysterious number 75, whom we do not have listed. That's Howie Long, apparently, from the name on his jersey.
That's him.
2nd-year man from the University of Villanova. By the way, Howie Long is the last player from Villanova to get into the NFL because Villanova dropped football. Whitey never had a chance.
Had the stun on. Tackles going outside. Defensive ends coming on the inside.
Greg Pruitt, the deep man, and Ray Stackowitz to punt from his own 31-yard line.
Good kick. Stackowitz punting well tonight.
Oh, and he's going to field it on his own 3.
He's got some running room.
Turns out to be a wise decision by Greg Pruitt. 52-yard punt, but a 33-yard return. And Pruitt could have easily let it bounce in the end zone, but it turned out to be the right decision.
Yeah, they got a good punt off. He absolutely outkicked his coverage here. A good over a 50-yard punt. A beautiful return by Greg Pruitt here. We'll be back with the score tied 3-3.
Part of the crowd of 45,000 witnessing a little history here tonight. The first home game of the Los Angeles Raiders. Jim Plunkett leads the silver and black up. He's got Kenny King and Marcus Allen in the backfield. Their first offensive series of the second half. King. Johnny Gray had a shot at him from behind, and Guy Prather finished him off. Short gain.
You know, our broadcast counterparts next door, Ken, who do the games for the L.A. Raiders, Tom Harmon, the former University of Michigan All-American, and now Locus Sal, who works with the Raiders for years, have a very interesting third color guy tonight working. I wish we could get a shot of Jim Garner, who's doing some color work for the Raider Network in the next booth to us. Rockford Files.
Oh, yes. You see the luminaries out here.
Hooray for Hollywood.
2nd down and 9, and Cliff Branch is lonely out there at the 45. Shoved out of bounds but not before he goes all the way down to about the 27-yard line where Mike Jolly assists him out of bounds. It's a 34-yard pass play by the Raiders.
Good pass protection that time. Did he have all the time in the world to throw the football? And it looks like Flores is sticking with Plunkett a little bit longer than usual. He got the football off, stood right in the pocket, was hit just as he delivered the football, but Branch was wide open on a turn-in.
That was Bill Whitaker that had the early shot at him.
Early shot. He just gave him a little move, went to the outside. And the Raiders are threatening to put the ball in the end zone.
Cliff Branch averaging a little over 20 yards per catch tonight. 1st and 10, Los Angeles on the Packer 29. And here comes Marcus Allen.
Quick 5-4.
He decided to go up and over, and Byron Bragg's late in waiting for him there, along with Wingo. Be 2nd down at about 6. We mentioned earlier in the telecast that the first time these two teams met was in Super Bowl II back in 1968. There is one player still in this football game who was active in that game. Paul, you know who it is?
I think it was two, Gene Upshaw and Art Shell. I think both of them played, didn't they?
Well, not according to the Raiders publicity information.
Well, I'll tell you, it's got to be Upshaw or Art Shell.
It was Upshaw. Gene Upshaw was a rookie starting in the line back in 1968.
Art Shell then did not play because he was one more year. Look at Branch. What a catch.
For a touchdown, but there is a penalty marker down. Back at the point where the pass was released, there is a penalty marker down. Holding Raiders, and it's going to come back.
Going to call back. What a beautiful pass and what a beautiful catch by Branch, who was running in traffic. He kept his eyes on the football. I hope he get another shot of this, but somebody in that Raider organization up front was holding. Call it back. What a break for Green Bay.
Boy, Cliff Branch has just...
He's taken over
all by himself out there.
This Branch is taking over here in the 3rd quarter.
Number 70, offense. Repeat, 2nd down.
Called on Henry Lawrence.
Henry Killer Lawrence, they call him.
Well, he killed his own
team's
team's
touchdown right there, right?
So now you got the ball back on the 35, and it is 2nd and 16. Jim Plunkett had a shaky 1st quarter, but since then he's played rather well.
Yep. Moves around a little bit better than he's been accustomed to.
He's going to go for it on the ground with Marcus Allen. Downfield blocked by his fellow running mate in the backfield, Frank Hawkins, and he chewed up some real estate.
They are not going to keep this kid out of the starting lineup. He runs too well. He's got a great knack for running. Not only is he a good runner, but he has a great knack for running, Ken. Now watch him. He just feels his way to the inside. Anderson gets hung up on the inside a little bit. You see the lead back, but Marcus Allen's got enough speed to get outside of Anderson without Anderson being blocked.
Johnny Gray finally rammed him out of bounds there. 3rd down and 4 for Los Angeles. They're on the Green Bay 23, and this is a pretty big play right here.
I'd run it with Allen.
They go to Hawkins instead, and he is going to be, I believe, short by about a yard.
I think you're right.
Casey Merrill and Cumbie on the stop.
Let's see what Flores decides to do. It's going to be 4th down. They need about a yard. 1 full yard. You got to get to the 19-yard line for the 1st down. They're going to go for it.
So Tom Flores takes his first gamble as the coach of the Los Angeles Raiders.
Derek Jensen checks into that backfield. Number 31, he brought the play in.
They need 1.
Over the years, they usually give it to the fullback in this situation. This Mark Van Egen's type of play. But the back's a little bit deep. There he goes.
Marcus Allen for the 1st down and some change at the 17-yard line.
Now we get a little shot of this. I show you a little tip-off by the running back here. He was a little bit deep. Oh, but you can't see Marcus Allen here. If that halfback's a little bit deep, it's a little tip-off. He's going to run the football. Allen goes up and over. Following the fullback, they made it easily.
So the ball now on the Green Bay 17-yard line as the L.A. Raiders take a gamble on 4th down and come up smelling like roses, and they are threatening to take the lead now. We have 8:41 to play in the 3rd quarter, and we're tied up at 3-3.
They're not in yet. They've got 12 long, about 17 long yards to go. Too much time, maybe?
That's going to be the call. Now, the Raiders have been in scoring position before, and they've had 3 big turnovers in this game, so they've taken themselves out of some scoring situations.
We'll have to score twice to put 7 on the board here. Branch.
Offense, still first down.
Well, that just drives coaches crazy for not to get the play off them. Too much time.
So now you got a first down and 15 with the ball back on the 22. There's the penalty situation. Jim Plunkett's going all the way under center for Los Angeles. Caught over the middle by Branch. And again, Jim Plunkett with just a day and a half back there to throw the ball.
Well, I tell you, they had him double cover. They had him cover with the linebacker short and safety man deep. And Branch, watch him. There's the 2 men now that are covering Branch. Now 51's got him coming to the outside. He lets him go to the inside. Now there's a safety man that you don't see in the picture who's got him deep. That's Whitaker. Whitaker on the inside. Branch makes a fine catch. Plunkett threw it very low.
Back to live action, and Marcus Allen tries to dive right up the middle. That was a 2nd down and 2 play, and he is very close to the first down. They had to get to around the 7-yard line.
You know, this change of scenery for a guy like Cliff Branch just may be what the doctor ordered. This kid's got great speed. At one time, he was the fastest, I think, NFL player in the whole league. Now he comes down to new surroundings, and he's got lightning effect with the crowd. Branch can break up a football game, and he still has that quickness, Ken, that I think he's going to enjoy down here. If he starts scoring some touchdowns, he may be here for a lot longer than people expect.
And we've got another very short yardage play coming up on 3rd down for the LA Raiders. Frank Hawkins comes in with a play from the sideline. Kenny King comes out, and we'll see if it's Marcus Allen airborne again on this play.
Al Davis would like nothing better to get off to a win here. It's a great promoter. He knows how important it is for first impressions.
It's Frank Hawkins.
Look, he made a nice cut back. I tell you, great blocking by that Raider offensive line on that occasion, Ken. He really blocked. They blocked well. They moved the Packer defense back.
1st and goal. It's going to be in about the 2-yard line. Casey Merrill and Johnny Gray finally made the stop, but not until after the damage was done.
Watch the guard, and the left guard and the center did an outstanding job against the Packer defense. Hawkins got back to the inside. Watch this ground level shot here. Watch Hawkins. He's going to get back to the 2-yard line. Just excellent blocking up front.
So Jim Plunkett lines him up now with a 1st and goal. The ball on the Green Bay 2-yard line.
This drive is eating up
Hawkins,
6 minutes.
Touchdown.
This drive is eating up 6 minutes off that clock, too. And they made it look easy, didn't they, Ken?
They sure did. A little too easy.
Yes, sir. Touchdown pass by Cliff Branch was called back and determined.
10-3. There's your scoring drive. 64 yards and 11 plays. Took about 6 minutes off of the clock. And Frank Hawkins with a counter. Chris Barr kicks it off, and Ira Matthews lies in waiting for Green Bay. And the former Oakland Raider returns the ball up to the 29-yard line, where James Davis made the tackle and a penalty marker down. You can see it on the ground in the upper left-hand part of your screen there.
How about 5 penalty markers? They came from everywhere. I think we should mention that the Raiders, we said, made it look easy against the Packer defense. It was that 2nd unit in there on defense. Bart's already starting to substitute a lot. He's got to take a look at a lot of football players tonight. There's a couple rookies in on that defensive unit. That's no excuse, but they did make it look a little bit easier against the 2nd unit.
You're going to watch Ira Matthews on the run back. He, of course, ran special teams back for the Raiders for a couple of years and was one of the best in the league at it while he was there. Former Wisconsin Badger, trying to make it with Green Bay as a free agent. And the penalty situation starting to even itself up now as the Pack moves up 1st and 10. Ball is on the 18. Rich Campbell, now the Green Bay quarterback, and Turdell Middleton runs the ball up to the 24-yard line. So quarterback number 3 in for the Packers. Rich Campbell, 2nd-year guy from California.
Boy, he looked great last week.
Jack Squirek on the last tackle. And if you're a Packer fan, you've followed the story of Rich fairly closely. #1 draft choice in 1981, played in just one ball game last year during the season. That was against Tampa Bay. Had a rough go of it through 5 interceptions, but has shown a lot of potential in the preseason. 2nd down and 4. Here comes Willard Reeves. Free agent running back, doesn't find too much room around the left side. Let's go down on the field to Joe Schmidt.
On the injury front, big Angelo Fields is down with a twisted knee. He did not come out of the locker room after the first half, so it looks like it could be serious, although they're not saying at this time. They'll have to wait until tomorrow. Okay.
Well, injuries to that offensive line are exactly what the Packers do not want to see. It's been a tough spot for them for the past 3 or 4 years, is keeping their linemen healthy. We have a 3rd down and 3 for Green Bay. Campbell throws a wobbler intended for tight end Gary Lewis.
You know, I'll tell you, if every team had the luxury of playing on this kind of turf, I think the injuries would come down.
Burgess Owens on the defensive play, and you'll get a look at how nice a play it was. Gary Lewis, a big guy, 6'5" tall.
He almost made a great catch.
Greg Pruitt, the deep man for the Raiders. Stakowitz to punt. Gary Lewis, of course, beautiful touchdown catch last week against the Cincinnati Bengals. That was his first TD catch as a Packer. Pruitt from his own 35.
Should be 15 yards right there.
And it's going to be.
He really hit him about 4 yards out of bounds, uncalled for. I know he was, you know, trying to hustle, trying to make a play, but it was out of bounds, too late.
38-yard punt and a 4-yard return, and I believe it was Cliff Lewis that made that hit. So that will help out the Raiders in terms of field position a little bit. With 5:06 left to play in the 3rd quarter, L.A. is going to have another shot.
Here's
and
Pruitt.
hitting the scoreboard. Here it comes.
Here's Pruitt going out of bounds now. Now watch the late hook.
It was Lewis.
Right there. There comes
and
Lewis.
Prather.
And Prather. It was about 3 yards out of bounds.
This is a foul, unnecessary roughness. Late hit out of bounds, number 51 on the kicking team. 1st down.
So they call it on Prather, the guy who came in with the good jar. Play stopped on the field. It's 10-3, and we'll come back.
Cutting your own firewood? Well, watch this. An old chainsaw will cut like new if you put on a fresh cutting chain when the old one wears out. An Oregon brand chain. They've got them to fit any saw made. Because with a sharp new chain, you don't have to be built like me to saw wood. You can be built like Grandpa here.
Year after year, no one cuts more wood than Oregon. Oregon chains are available at your nearest Mills Fleet Farm store.
If you have $2,000 or more in a bank passbook, First Savings believes your attention to this announcement will be well rewarded. Because if you bring that passbook money to First Savings for 28 days, First Savings will pay you more than double what you're now earning. Plus, you'll be eligible to apply for interest on checking and Visa with no annual fees. So you can leave that $2,000 in the bank passbook and earn 5.25%, or bring it to First Savings and earn more than double.
7, 6.
Ken Lass, Paul Hornung, and Joe Schmidt out at the L.A. Coliseum. By the way, the Raiders may be playing their home games here now, but physically the team is not yet able to practice in Los Angeles. They are still in their Santa Rosa, California home for practices, which is quite a stretch up the way in California. New quarterback for the Raiders, Mark Wilson, 3rd-year man out of Brigham Young. Jim Plunkett goes 2.5 quarters tonight.
Watch this arm. He does have a fine arm.
And again, all day to throw.
Terrible pass, but a fine arm. Now this kid can throw the football.
He replaced Jim Plunkett about midway through the year last year after the Raiders went through 3 games without scoring a single point. Jim Plunkett did have a thumb injury that was bothering him a lot. And Wilson led the team to somewhat of a resurgence toward the end of the year. They finished with a record of 7-9, and those are his preseason statistics. 2nd and 10. And Wilson almost threw the ball into the hands of Clarence Chapman, intending the pass for Todd Christensen. It'll be 3rd and 10, and Wilson isn't wasting any time. He's coming in and airing it out here. We're talking about the Raiders. Go ahead, Paul.
And here comes this exact situation I was telling you. It's a little bit late. 3rd and long. Packers bringing out some linebackers. And, of course, the fullback will come out for L.A. and another receiver in. But I think you're going to see a lot of this on 2nd and 3rd down in the 80s on offense. You're going to see all your receivers going on 2nd and 3rd down on long. 2nd and long and 3rd down.
4-man rush, 3rd down and 10. Complete to Allen, but stopped short of the first down by George Cumbie. So the Raiders are going to face a 4th down and 3 or 4. Talking about the Raiders looking for a place to practice. They have purchased a former junior high school in suburban Los Angeles, and they're going to rip all the pavement out and tear the building down and make a practice field out of it. That won't be ready, though, for a while. So in the meantime, the Raiders will practice way upstate in Santa Rosa and play their home games here.
Well, they only have one more preseason game here next week for the regular season. And the Packers, we go where? To Boston next week, right?
Right. Foxborough, Mass. Ray Guy with a punt. And it will make the end zone. Ball will come out to the 20-yard line, and the Packers will have it 1st and 10 from there.
He hasn't punted well at all, Guy, to me.
4:03 to play in the 3rd quarter. It's 10-3, and we'll return.
It's a sign of grand times to come and grand news for you, because the Grand Avenue is now open in downtown Milwaukee.
There's good reason why your Milwaukee Honda dealers have trouble keeping big inventories. Wisconsin drivers keep on buying them. All fuel efficient and all Hondas. The Plush Accord, the practical Civic, and the sporty Prelude. The final 82 inventories are on their way. But don't wait. See one of your Milwaukee Honda dealers right now. This time, the competition could be the customer next to you.
Wayne Frank, for Wisconsin Lieutenant Governor, served our country with the Peace Corps, with the State Department in Vietnam. He's an admired lawmaker. Choose Wayne Frank for experience, integrity, common sense.
The most thrilling part of the Atari Scratch and Win game at McDonald's is the millions of prizes. Taste the thrill of Atari at McDonald's.
The Packers have held off a potential scoring threat by the Raiders, and Green Bay, who has not really played all that well since the 1st quarter, still very much in the game on the scoreboard, down just 10-3. They have it 1st and 10 on the 20, and Rich Campbell is the quarterback. Jensen, 7 or 8 yards for the former Denver Broncos. Otis McKinney on the tackle. Jim Jensen out of the University of Iowa. Back in 1980, he led the Denver Broncos in rushing.
Well, he's the only remaining back here. They've got everybody spread out. Real good blocking on the left side. The left tackle and left guard really opening up. Gary Lewis out in front. Jensen trips over Gary Lewis, or would have had the 1st down easily.
White Star has his top 2 receivers in there, Lofton and J.J., both wide to the bottom on 2nd and 2. Turdell Middleton's got the 1st and a little to spare as he's up to about the 33-yard line. Raider tackle by Jeff Barnes, a reserve linebacker. Bart Starr has said he remains committed to having to look at his 70-man roster, faced with a 10-man cut down by 3 p.m. on Tuesday. 1st and 10, Green Bay. It's on the 34.
I guess that's the toughest thing that coaches have to do, say adios to some of these kids. And makes it no easier, because the more friendly you get with them, the tougher it is.
Campbell's got Jensen all by himself.
He's got the 1st down, too, up to the 45.
Randy McClanahan and Jack Squirick on the stop. And Rich Campbell.
Let's take an end zone look here. Campbell going back. Good pass protection. McCarron and the guards really take good hands by Jensen. Had to reach back for it. Caught it for the 1st down.
Coming into the ball game tonight, Campbell had thrown the ball 30 times and completed 16 for 189 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's looked real well. 1st and 10. And rushing in and making the sack for the Raiders is Jeff Barnes. He came in absolutely free.
Didn't look like that's the fourth sack of the evening for the L.A. Raiders. And here's Campbell wondering where his pass protection broke down. It's going to break down on that left side of your screen here. He's coming back. He's trying to get it out. He just kind of lost his balance there. Even though it's going to be accredited with a sack, really didn't make the tackle.
And there's the sack situation. The Packers with only 1 and the Raiders 4. 1:48 now to play in the third quarter, and Green Bay with a 2nd and 20.
Watch, they got Jefferson Lofton on the same side over here.
Over the middle, they go to that same little loop pass to Jensen.
A little low, threw it low, or he would have gotten a little bit more yardage out of it.
It's going to be 3rd down and a bunch, and Joe Schmidt has something down on the field. Joe?
I'm here with Jim Hill, a former Green Bay Packer, now a broadcaster at KNXT here in Los Angeles. And Jim, what do you think of the Packers so far today?
Well, I tell you, Joe, I'm very impressed with what the Packers have potentially shown. I know it's only the preseason, and they don't want to show a lot of things, but with Jefferson and Lofton out there, anything can happen. I think they're going to have a pretty good year.
You so you think this team is maybe going to be as good as the team that you played on in 1972, which won in the division?
Well, it's been a decade since the Packers have had a division championship, and I think it's about time again.
All right, thank you very much, Jim.
Big play, 3rd down and 10 from the 45. Grabs and intercepted by Barnes. And the Raiders will have the football.
Well, Barnes caught the rebound. It was a rebound. A Packer, I couldn't pick up who it was, got his hands on the football. I think it was Jensen, number 33. Let's take another look from the end zone. Here's Campbell going back. Good pass protection. Are you kidding? And he comes up, throws it to his left side. There's 33. Nope, it did not hit his hands. Jensen's trying to get it right there. A rebound. Was it Jefferson?
Well, we got the isolation on him right here.
Jefferson's coming back for the football.
Well, he did touch it.
He did touch it. He did touch it. Rebounded off of Jefferson's hand for the interception.
Mark Wilson on 1st down, and Mike Butler and Ezra Johnson wrap him up like a pair of bookends at about the 45-yard line. There is a sight that Bart Starr would like to see a lot of in 1982. And a penalty flag down, and the preliminary indication is against the Raiders.
Now, if Butler makes his mind up, he could be a dominating force. He's got good quickness, size, speed. He's got everything. Holding. They're going to decline the holding, a 10-yard penalty.
It's called on reserve center Jim Romano.
They lost 3 on the play, so they decline it. Make it 2nd.
Mike Butler, by the way, has said that he is going to become a free agent after this year. He has not signed a new contract, and he is in his option year. 2nd and 12. And Allen drops the little screen pass.
Yeah, he's got the good hands. You won't see that too often either. Just wanted to run with it a little bit too quick. Didn't make sure of the catch. He's got fine pair of hands.
And he had a little running room downfield, too, from the look of it.
36 seconds left here in the third quarter.
Now you've got a 3rd down and 12, and the clock is down to 36 seconds to play, as Paul said. Next week, Saturday afternoon, 1 p.m., Paul and I and Joe Schmidt will greet you from Foxborough, Massachusetts, the Packers and the New England Patriots. Wilson gets the heat, and he goes down in the arms of Terry Jones. So the Packers getting something they really haven't had much of in this ball game, and that's a little heat from the line.
Little stunt for the Packers here. They catch Wilson. Terry Jones on a good sack here. They send Ray Guy. Ray Guy's about due to hit one, isn't he? He'll be kicking against the little windmill.
Ira Matthews goes back for the Pack, and he's going to float way back to about his own 20. Guy is inside his own 20, so that gives you an idea of the kind of respect they have for him. It's high, but not particularly deep, and Matthews fair catches it at about the 32. 36-yard punt for Ray Guy, and Ray has just not punted the way we've seen him punt. And that is the end of the third quarter at the Los Angeles Coliseum. The score, the Los Angeles Raiders 10 and the Packers 3. Back with a final quarter after this.
When it comes to absorbency, Viva's more than a paper towel. Watch. To be precise, it's a paper sponge. It may sound incredible, but Viva absorbs as much as this sponge. So Viva can sponge up your sloppiest spills, sponge up your drippiest drips. Incredibly absorbent Viva, the paper towel that's really a paper sponge.
You know what makes life hard for me? Soft Philadelphia brand cream cheese. Spreads so smooth and tastes so creamy, it's hard to keep in stock. And my customers say, don't you have something else like it? But there's nothing else like it. Because Soft Philly is Philadelphia cream cheese, made in a way nobody else can copy. In fact, it's patented. It's hard to beat Soft Philadelphia brand cream cheese. So creamy, so smooth, because nothing else is made like it.
The fashion look. Jordache.
Festa Mexicana ends. A report after the game.
Ken Lass along with Paul Hornung and Joe Schmidt as we start the final quarter from the Los Angeles Coliseum. The Packers down by a touchdown. And Rich Campbell lines him up with a 1st and 10. Penalty marker down, and Lofton's got the football on a pretty catch at midfield and into Raider territory, but a marker is down. And the preliminary indication, I believe, is against the Raiders.
It'll be an 18-yard pickup. Good, quick post pattern by Lofton. Good pitch by Campbell. I tell you, it's kind of unique. You know, the Packers, scored 10 touchdowns in the first 2 games. They have yet to put 6 on the board here, and we're heading into the 4th quarter.
It's an offsides call against L.A., and I'm quite sure Green Bay will turn it down.
Offside, defense, declined.
Amazing how you guessed that.
And a Raider down on the field. And we will wait to double check on his number.
Might be Cleve Montgomery, number 28.
So while they attend to the injured player, we'll take a timeout from Los Angeles.
Now you can avoid the high cost of hiring a professional plumber by handling many repairs yourself with professional quality master plumber repair parts and fittings from True Value Hardware stores. They come with step-by-step instructions for easy installation. And when you choose master plumber parts and fittings, you can be sure your repairs will last because they're all quality constructed to resist corrosion and wear. Look for them exclusively at participating True Value Hardware stores and home centers.
After every Packer game, go for Durkee's and be sure to listen to Durkee's Mailbag on radio with Jim Ford.
We have a letter here from George Blair and George Schultz of the Durkee Packer fan club at the Wagon Wheel in Madison. Why don't they have more men's rooms at Lambeau Field? The Billers of Lambeau Field apparently never drank beer. George Blair and George Schultz will forward your letter to Judge Perrins, president of Packers. In the meanwhile, fellas, don't drink any more beer at the games.
Brought to you by Durkee's famous spices, sauces, mixes, and olives. World's finest, voted #1 in Packerland.
A good look at the great pair of hands of James Lofton here. Stretches it out right in the fingertips. 18-yard pickup got the Packers in L.A. territory.
The injured L.A. Raider was Ted White, and he's been helped off of the field. There's your stats through 3 quarters. And again, the Raiders with the advantage across the board. 1st and 10, Campbell throwing for J.J. and let him on a little too much. Boy, J.J.'s had a little frustration tonight. He's come close a couple of times.
Well, that's tough for him. You know, he comes from San Diego, comes from an offense where he's catching 8, 9, 10, 12 passes a game. He really hasn't gotten loose here yet. Of course, you got Lofton on the other side, and at San Diego, he was numero uno. Here, it's you got to think about Lofton, too.
3 out of 5 for 40 yards and 1 picked off for Rich Campbell. That was a deflected pass. In all fairness to him, it's 2nd and 10.
So he's not going to catch it from him.
And this time he's got J.J., but they say he caught it out of bounds. And it looks like J.J. kind of knew it. He's not squawking too much.
Got to have both feet in. Let's see. There's a left foot. It was okay, but his right foot did not touch. Good call.
James Davis was playing pass defense on the play. 500 miles won't keep us away. And those are the Oakland fans who have turned out here at L.A. to watch their Raiders. That's what I call loyalty.
Well, there's a lot of fans here from Green Bay. I saw them all over town today. How about that, huh? Preseason all the way from Wisconsin. That's what I call.
3rd and 10, and Campbell's not going to get away. Reuben Vaughn made the sack.
Reuben Vaughn. He's a little bit happy.
And you'll see that Rich had time originally to release the ball, but when he took the second look, it was over.
Yep. Big left arm. Reuben Vaughn. There we go with the punt again.
Stankiewicz has been a busy guy, standing on his own 30.
Tell you, Ray's really done a nice job kicking the football tonight. Look at this. He drives him all the way back to the 5.
Pruitt comes back a couple of yards to about the 12. A 47-yard punt by Stack and a 4-yard return by Greg Pruitt. Larry Rubin's down there first to make the stop for Green Bay. So the Raiders will come back with it with 14 minutes left to play in the ball game, and the Packers stay close but just haven't been able to mount much offense.
Well, they got to get a break.
LA defense.
I think a break would help them here. You know, if they could get a turnover, a fumble recovery right now, and might put a little pep into that Packer offense. Campbell's thrown some pretty good passes, and he's going to move this football team for the night's over with. I just don't think the Green Bay can play a whole game, Ken, and not put 7 points on the board. They scored 10 touchdowns the first 2 games.
Here comes a draw play to Chester Willis, and look at all this running room, and Mike Jolly finally with a tackle.
Mike Jolly was the first guy to touch this running back.
22-yard run for Chester Willis.
Chester Willis. Now, watch. Nobody touches this guy till he's tackled. That's how good a blocking he's running behind right now. He runs over to the left. Look at that hole around there. Holy mackerel. Cuts back to the inside, and Jolly makes a touch and the tackle.
So that takes him out of the hole
20
real
yards.
quick.
20 yards.
1st and 10 on the 35. In the flat is Willis again, and Bill Whitaker's got him. It's going to come up about 3 yards shy of the first down. You can see some of the reserves in that Packer defensive lineup. There's Chester Willis, and he's another guy in the backfield. He made this club as a reserve last year, and he's a capable back. But you look at the Raider roster, and you just don't see how there can be room for someone like him with all the talent they've got back there.
Guess who else I saw at halftime, by the way? I saw George Allen just kind of sneaking around here at halftime, too, taking a peek. He's in that new league, isn't he? Somewhere?
He sure is. And Frank Hawkins carrying the ball, and Johnny Gray wraps him up for no gain or a loss.
They better have a lot of money for him.
George Allen,
he'll spend it.
Now running the show for the Chicago Blitz.
All right.
Pro football is going to start again in April or March. Go to the 4th of July.
We'll have it every week in a couple of years.
It's going to be interesting to follow the development of that young league. We have a 3rd down and 4 for the Raiders.
I like to have a franchise man wide.
Byron Braggs was chasing Wilson, and we got a flag down. Late flag. Something happening in the secondary area. And it's a hold.
It's defensive holding against the Packers. It will be 1st down.
There is no foul. The quarterback had left the pocket and showed his run at the time of the illegal contact. There was no foul because the quarterback was not in the pocket.
The quarterback had been in the pocket. It would have been defensive holding for automatic first down, but he ran out of the pocket, and that gives the defensive backs a little break. They can play run there, so there's no call. Good call.
Because effectively the play is a running play.
That's right.
Correct?
That's right. Ira Matthews going back. Let's have a nice little run back here. The guy has not punted well all night long. Stachowicz completely having the best of Ray Guy here tonight. I guarantee he's averaged almost close to 50, Stachowicz. And Ray Guy is close to about 37, 36.
Very much unlike him.
Watching him getting look at that. He shanked that one.
And that one is going to float out of bounds around the 30-yard line.
He's beside himself. He don't know what's going on.
So we'll take a timeout. We've got 12 minutes left up on the board, and the Packers trail 10-3.
Hot day, cold beer, and good times. That's what it's all about.
The rules change in every bar when you're playing pool. But the taste of Pabst doesn't change no matter where you go.
It's a good beer. It's just nice.
Sit down and relax, go down to the beach and take a nice cold Pabst and watch the sunset with my dogs.
When I come home and drink my Pabst, it's the best of times.
It gives me immediate taste. Immediate, how do I describe it? Kind of a taste explosion.
I'll take this beer home with me anytime.
Your Dodge dealer says let's talk clearance because he's got something to talk about. His full line of high-mileage front-wheel driving machines and Ram-Tough Dodge trucks, all clearance priced. He's out to make this factory-authorized clearance the best ever. The bottom line, great clearance prices. And now Dodge trucks offer $300 to $1,000 in factory-paid rebates. So see your Dodge dealer and say, let's talk clearance.
The greater Milwaukee area Dodge dealers have the truck deal you've been waiting for. Take it.
Ken Lass along with Paul Hornung and Joe Schmidt live from the L.A. Coliseum, where the Packers have stayed close, but they haven't been able to get up on the board. They trailed 10-3. The only scoring for the green and gold, a 49-yard field goal by Eddie Garcia. That was way back in the first quarter. There's some of the fans witnessing the first L.A. Raider home game. And Rich Campbell has them up there 1st and 10 at their own 30, and it's about time for a rally here. Middleton, there's a good start. About 7 yards straight up the gut. Raider tackled by Bob Nelson. Be 2nd down and 3, and Turdell shows you something right here.
Good move right on the inside. Good blocking up front. Middleton, of course, got a good knack for hitting the hole. Picked up 7.
He's the last Packer to rush for 1,000 yards. Did it back in 78. 2nd down and 3. Here comes Eric Torkelson. Couple of yards. Be about a yard shy of the first, and Jack Squirick made the tackle for L.A. So you're going to have 3rd and short. Eric Torkelson, 9-year Packer veteran. Only one guy on the roster has been with him longer. That's Larry McCarron. Third down and actually less than a yard.
You better make these. Play action. Nope. Little pitch to this side. He needs one.
Mike Mead's got the first down. And that really is the type of play that this 5th-round draft choice from Penn State is designed for. Mike Mead ran just that sort of a yardage situation for the Nittany Lions. That's because they had guys like Kurt Warner to run the outside plays.
Got a man in motion back to the left of your screen. They put Mead back to the weak side, and he knows what he's in there for. He needed a half yard. He got about 2.
Booker Moore and Matt Suey, Kurt Warner, all great backs that Mead played with at Penn State. It's a first down for the Packers. Looking for Gary Lewis, let him on too far, and Campbell got that pass away just in the nick of time.
Shows good speed for the tight end there, going deep on a corner pattern.
Ed Jackson was the man close to annihilating Rich Campbell on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 10, and we're under the 10-minute mark in the ball game now, and Green Bay slowly running out of chances to get back in the ball game. Ira Matthews is in at one of the wide receiver spots down to the bottom, and Wayman Buggs is up in the top. He had such a great game against Cincinnati last week. Flags are down all over the place.
Too much timing.
Procedure is the preliminary call.
First start, number 74, offense.
Tim Huffman. Huffy, a second-year guy out of Notre Dame. Our offensive line is an area where the Packers will probably have to make some cuts. As Eric Torkelson passes along the 2nd and 15 play to Rich Campbell.
And here comes a pass rush team for L.A.
Packers have moved ahead of the Raiders in the penalty category. Second and 15.
We're looking at a 4-man rush. 5 defensive backs, 2 linebackers. I'm going to get him too. Nope.
Rich outruns Howie Long on the play. And he manages to get himself.
Packers failed to pick up the stunt. They had a little stunt on defense. Tackles outside. Defensive ends come inside on the stunt. Packers did not pick it up too well and forced Campbell outside the pocket. Campbell showed some good quickness, though. Got outside of the grasp of Young.
Now you got a 3rd down and about 12. Ball's on the 40. Middleton and pretty clogged up across the middle. James Davis was there. Stan Adams had the sandwich on him from behind. So once again, Green Bay's offense runs out of gas, and it's 4th down and 12. And Ray Stackowitz may really head for the whirlpool after this game because he's had a workout. He's back there again on the 25. Greg Pruitt to return. 7 punts, 317. Over 46 yards a kick. Pruitt on the 16. Cliff Lewis missed him, and Guy Prather gets him. It's a 44-yard punt with a 10-yard return for the veteran back from the Cleveland Browns. 9:29 to play. It's 10-3 LA, and we'll come back.
I run a small business. Making every penny count is important. Never thought I could use a computer until Petted Microsystems convinced me with Commodore. Spending a little now has saved me more time, work, and money than I ever thought possible. In fact, I even have Commodore's personal computer at home.
The Commodore system is easy to use.
It does the job for less, and Petted customized it to fit my needs. You can count on Commodore from Petted Microsystems, southeastern Wisconsin's oldest full-service Commodore dealer.
The biggest, the thrill of Atari.
I guess a picture is worth 1,000 words, huh, Paul?
It's comfortable.
I don't know how. Raiders have a 1st and 10, and the ball is on their own 21-yard line. Mark Wilson, the quarterback, and here comes the draw to Chester Willis and Randy Scott. Has him around a 31 or 2. Nice little pickup, and Willis has looked good in his
he really has
appearance.
Showed good quickness, a little rollout draw. Pretty good blocking, makes a good cut back to the inside. Packers, of course, substituting quite freely now, trying to take a look at everybody.
2nd and 4. Up the middle is a new man in that Raider backfield.
New man got
Billy Taylor.
New man got real close to 1st down. Not quite. Billy Taylor.
Rich Turner, among others, on the stop. There's a fifth-year back from Texas Tech. And Taylor's getting down toward the bottom of that depth chart now at the running back spot for the Raiders. As Tom Flores has looked at everybody back there tonight. Bart Starr's done his share of sending him in and out, too. Second down and 2. And Taylor again. And close. Depends on the spotting of the ball.
I don't think he made it.
55 is Scott. Prather was there as well. It's going to be a 4th. I believe I call that a second down. That was a 3rd down play. And now it is 4th. So that's a brief series for the Raiders.
Yep. It could be an opponent. We got plenty of time left. You got to get 7 points on that board.
35.7 yards per punt for Ray Guy. Far below his average. Tyrann Matthews back deep. From the 18. Not much running room up the middle. It's a 47-yard punt by Stack and a 9-yard return, and Ray's still shaking his head.
No, it was Ray Guy, not Stackers.
Oh, Ray Guy, I intended to say.
Two Rays.
Punting the football around.
Stackowitz has got the best of guys tonight.
7:37 left on the clock. There are the new pennants. They took the Oakland off the top and put Los Angeles up there, and the fans say that's all right with us. Got about 45,000 of them in the Raiders' first home game tonight. And Rich Campbell brings the pack up 1st and 10 on the Green Bay 28. Comes up a little short trying to hit Wayman Buggs around the 46 or 7-yard line. Ted Watts playing defense.
He had Watts beaten to the outside, just a little bit short on the delivery.
Rich's stats on the night: 3 out of 9 for 40 yards, 1 interception. I'm sure he's not happy with that so far. Rich was putting some pretty good numbers up on the board in the first 2 games of the year. Second down and 10. Torkelson takes it over the right to the 32 or 3. Stan Adams on the tackle for the Silver and Black.
Got to get a first down now. It's going to be 3rd and about 5. See if they go to work on the linebackers with the backs.
And Green Bay with
about 5.
A second-string offensive line in there at the moment.
Going against the second defensive unit, or the 3rd for LA.
So that should balance itself out pretty well on 3rd down and 5.
Go the backs.
In and out of the hands of Gary Lewis.
Right on the money. Backs were open for the first down. He went downfield to Gary Lewis about midfield, and Lewis wishes he had this one back because he could have caught this.
Good zip pass.
Oh, that's perfect. You wouldn't want it any better, even though it was pretty good coverage. Looked like the defensive man may have had his left arm inside there, but it should have been caught.
Stackowitz has averaged 45, almost 46 yards a kick. And there's Greg Brewitt back to return. Larry Rubin
has not been a good offensive game for Green Bay tonight.
Well,
you should have run the football for the first down there, Raymond.
Doesn't get much of a kickoff, and there's a penalty marker down.
Well, you know, everybody left, and you know everybody's going to be downfield. If he could have run the football in, could have cut the first down very easily. He was forced into pulling the football down, or he would have had a block kick. He was very smart doing that. But if he would just looked ahead of himself, and he could have got the first down.
Now let's take a look again and see if we can see what kind of room he's got out there.
Watch this, Ken. Now watch. Here comes pressure from the left side. It's a low kick. Now that's very, very good athlete. All he has to do is run with the football there.
Downfield, number 33, kicking team, declined. First down.
Jim Jensen was the guy that called it on.
Yeah, they could have called it on 4 or 5 of them, too, because when a punter pulls it down, the people who are covering the punt, they don't see that. So naturally, they're going to release and go on downfield. So you're going to have 3 or 4 guys on that infraction. But I think he could have picked up the first down, don't you, if he would have decided to run the football. He only needed 3.5 to 4 yards.
Looked like he had a few guys that could have thrown a block or two.
And it's in the preseason, so go ahead and take a shot. Of course, he's not thinking that in those circumstances.
He winds up with a pretty short punt, and the Raiders have it 1st and 10 on the 42. Going for all the marbles to Calvin Muhammad, and step for step with him down there was Bill Whitaker, who comes up a little lame on the play. Muhammad, a second-year guy.
I don't have to tell you, he can run. His name tells you that. Anybody's named Calvin Muhammad, you know he's fast.
Some names just sound fast.
That's right.
You know? 2nd down and 10 for the Raiders.
I tell you, he had everybody beaten by about 3 yards.
Wilson the screen to Chester Willis, and a great defensive play by Guy Prather, who got in behind the blocking.
I'll tell you one thing, he reacts well to those screen passes and the little flat passes. Got good quickness. How big is he? Let's take a look here.
Take a look on the chart.
Gab Prather. Watch this again. Here it comes. Fake the screen right, comes screen left on the outside, and watch 51.
6'2", 230.
Good size.
He's playing for Mike Douglas.
Good quickness for that size. Of course, Douglas with that great quickness.
3rd down and 12 play. And a big catch by Muhammad. They're going to have the first down as Mike Jolly makes the stop, and a big 3rd down play for L.A. 25-yard pass.
Alvin Muhammad. Well, they got some speed in the receivers in this club. Branch. Brownwell. Now Muhammad. They're just flooding the left side over here. Roll out right. Muhammad's wide open. First year out of Texas Southern. And that's a great track school, Texas Southern. He was probably on the track team. He could fly.
We're down to the 5-minute mark in the ball game. Draw play to Chester Willis. I think it was Virgil Livers who got low and submarined him down, but he's inside the Green Bay 30-yard line.
So get out of my way, whoever's trying to block there.
And Willis comes up a little lame on the play. Pretty good pickup, 8 yards. Be 2nd down and a couple. And these are the kind of calls that quarterbacks like to work with.
These rookies on the borderline are very smart, you know. If they're on the borderline of being cut and you show pretty good in the game, you know, you get to the end of the game, you come up with one of those sprained ankles. They got to keep you, you know. Genius if they do it.
Life isn't all that bad on injured reserve.
That's
huh?
right.
2nd down and 2. Beautiful pass to Muhammad, and he's inside the 10. Livers on the tackle. It's a 22-yard pass, and Los Angeles is knocking on the door.
Oh, Calvin Muhammad. Texas Southern. Got loose over the middle in the zone. Let's take a look. Oh, I'll tell you one thing. He was the one playing bump and run, not the defense. He just knocked the defense right down. Good, strong move by Calvin Muhammad. You can do that to the receiver once. I don't know how many times a receiver can do that to the defensive back.
Check the rule book on that.
Right.
That was Clarence Chapman that he dumped. It's 1st and goal, L.A.
They won 6.
And they've got it to Muhammad.
No. Number 80.
Barnwell. Barnwell.
Mark Wilson showing you that, displaying that fine arm that he has. He's going to be a big star in this league. Here's Mark Wilson. And I tell you, Al Davis has got to be pretty happy tonight. The first time the Raiders play as the L.A. Raiders right here at home in Los Angeles. He found Malcolm Barnwell in the back of the end zone, wide open for 6.
So with 3.5 minutes to play, it's really going to be tough for Green Bay now.
Impossible.
Chris Barr to attempt.
Not impossible, but the way the game's gone, you don't say it's impossible.
The flags fly just as the football does through the uprights. Kick was good.
12 men on defense. The point is good. The 5-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
Kickoff in the 40.
So it is now 17-3. The LA Raiders are in the lead. And when we come back, the Packers will try to get back in the ball game.
In the last 2 years, 20,000 jobs have left Milwaukee. Where's your congressman?
Sometimes you have to make a change to someone like Lynn Edelman.
At Denny's, we grill lean top sirloin steak till it's tender and juicy and just the way you order it. Top it with crisp onion rings. Serve it with hot garlic toast, a big baked potato with real sour cream and vegetables. All for the special price through September of only $4.49. The top sirloin steak dinner at Denny's, where you'll like our prices and you'll love our food.
This summer, have fun raising money for the Muscular Dystrophy Association by becoming an MDA Fun Event Chairman. Complete the 12-word contest form and you'll be eligible for a Republic Airlines trip to any city in the continental U.S. Choose from New York, Orlando, Seattle, or any other U.S. city served by Republic. For more information, call the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
Chris Farr kicks it off for the Packers. And here comes Ira to about the 25-yard line. Raider tackled by Ed Jackson. So Green Bay now with 3 minutes and 19 seconds to try to tighten things up a little bit. Raiders scoring drive 58 yards in 6 plays. Ate up a little over 3 minutes. And Wilson to Barnwell for 7 yards and a score. And we are going to see Dan Manucci at quarterback for Green Bay. He is the 4th signal caller in the ball game. Spent some time with the Buffalo Bills. 3rd year out of Kansas State. His first snap as a Packer. Penalty marker is down and the pass is incomplete. Well, Bart Starr said he was going to try to get 4 signal callers in the game, and now he has done so. And Manucci's going to look right into a holding penalty.
Nice way to start it off.
It is probably not the most pleasant task in the world to come into a game trailing 17-3 with 3 minutes left to play and try to run a series. And we'll find out who the holding call is on.
Holding, number 72, offense, repeat first down.
It's called on Brad Oates, and let's go down to Joe Schmidt on the field.
Well, Tuesday is another cut-down day for the Green Bay Packers. They must cut 10 players. 2 areas they're looking at real heavily tonight, the linebacking and offensive line, because there are a lot of players on the roster at those 2 positions, so players must go at those 2 spots.
First down and 20. Flare to Mike Meade. And bodies flying as Meade goes down around the 20-yard line. Jeff Jackson on the tackle. Jeff out of Clemson. And the replay from the far end zone. And you can see just a lot of traffic in the area. 2:40 now. The clock is running, and the Packers looking at a 2nd down and 16.
Oh, it's downfield. That up, baby. Out of bounds.
Wayman Buggs wants pass interference on the Raiders. Kenny Taylor. But the officials are not going to give it to him.
Well, the ball was uncatchable.
Wayman Buggs with 4 big catches last week, including 1 for a touchdown. Now there's a guy, number 47 for Green Bay. You would figure going into summer camp that he would be spare baggage, but he comes up with a big game and looks fairly good in practice. And you get to the point where you think he may need to find a place on the roster. That's he, number 47 there. 3rd down and 16, and this is a tough call.
Left tackle's holding.
Tried to hit Gary Lewis, zipped it through his hands, and that's going to be the end of that drive.
Well, Packers offensively, they haven't looked too good tonight, even though Bart's played about everybody. First half was just about a dead standoff, tied 3-3. Raiders probably had a little bit edge offensively, but Stakowicz has done a good job punting tonight. About the only bright spot I could see is Stakowicz.
He's got to, suppose if you give a most valuable player for Green Bay, it's got to be Ray. Back on the 5 to punt. Throw it from his own 42. And the Packers cover him up. It's a 39-yard punt with an 8-yard return, and let's go to Joe Schmidt down on the field.
Well, Bart Starr planned on using all 4 of his quarterbacks in this game, and he did. But it brings out a question. Lynn Dickey has only played in about 3 quarters so far this exhibition season, and he has one more game to play to get some time in and to get off that rusty list and get ready to go into the regular season. And Paul Hornung, I was wondering if you think that maybe Lynn hasn't played enough this preseason yet.
No, I think it's okay. What has he been in the league? What, 12 years? So I don't think we're going to have to worry about Lynn Dickey. When the bell rings, it's going to be a different little team. You're going to find the offensive players going all the way, and the Packers will look good offensively. I don't think the offense is what Bart Starr's got to worry about right now, especially if you can get Eddie Lee Avery well.
Up the middle goes Billy Taylor for about 4 or 5 yards over the left side. Parlavecchio on the tackle for Green Bay. Packers with 1 preseason game left to warm up Lynn Dickey. That is next Saturday afternoon, and a procedure call coming up against the Raiders. And all of you along the Packer Preseason Football Network will see that game live as you see this one. Game time 1 p.m. The Packers and the New England Patriots from Foxborough, Massachusetts, as Joe Schmidt and Paul and I will bring you that action.
Illegal motion, number 76, offense. Repeat, first down.
Called on Ed Moransky. Reserve tackle trying to make this LA Ball Club. We have 2:05 to play, and this will probably be the last play before the 2-minute warning. 1st and 15. It's to Taylor. Wrapped up after a short gain by Terry Jones. And there's the 2-minute warning being given to both benches. Play is stopped on the field, and the score is Los Angeles 17, Packers 3, and we'll return.
If you have $2,000 or more in a bank passbook, First Savings believes your attention to this announcement will be well rewarded. Because if you bring that passbook money to First Savings for 28 days, First Savings will pay you more than double what you're now earning. Plus, you'll be eligible to apply for interest on checking and Visa with no annual fees. So you can leave that $2,000 in the bank passbook and earn 5.25%, or bring it to First Savings and earn more than double.
Your Dodge dealer says let's talk clearance, because he's got something to talk about. His full line of high-mileage front-wheel driving machines, and they're all clearance priced. He's out to make this factory-authorized clearance the best ever. The bottom line, great clearance prices. And now with a $400 factory direct rebate, Dodge Colt is America's lowest price car, even before your clearance deal. So see your Dodge dealer and say, let's talk clearance.
The greater Milwaukee area Dodge dealers have the import deal you've been waiting for. Take it.
2 minutes left to play in the Green Bay Packers' 3rd game of the 1982 preseason. And it's looking very much now like their record will fall to 2-1, and the LA Raiders' record will improve to the same figure. They trail by 14, do the Packers, and Mark Wilson has a 1st and 15 to work with. Intercepted by Mike Jolly down on the 13-yard line, intended for Barnwell. Jolly, a veteran from the University of Michigan, coming back. He spent last year on injured reserve after being hurt in the preseason, and this guy's just a ball hawk type of player. Always seems to be where the football is, even in practice. It always seems that Jolly is coming up with the interception. Guy Prather there.
Guy Prather bothering Mark Wilson. Mark Wilson just going for the home run. Throws it up for grabs, actually. He was covered by Jolly. Wasn't too good a pitch.
Green Bay's 2nd interception of the game. Mo Harvey had one in the first half. 1:49 to play, and Dan Manucci gets another try at quarterback.
still live.
And I believe they're calling it an incomplete pass.
Yep, arm going forward.
Manucci was stripped.
A few years ago, that would have been a fumble. It's just an incomplete pass now. Let's take a look. We'll see if his arm goes forward here. It's kind of like a bootleg, a little rollout right. And what he's going forward, he's trying to pull up with the football.
He fumbled the ball. He was not stripped.
He really did. He wasn't stripped. He was trying to stop the pass. He started to throw it and then tried to hold up and drop the football. And they ruled it incomplete. And that's to me.
Second down and 10. And that ball is intercepted by Rich D'Amico. And he's a young guy trying to make the ball club, and he's going to be happy.
He says, I might not make the ball club, but I'm going to get me a football, I'll tell you that. He's not going to give up that football. A little deflection here, right on the money. The ball should have been caught.
It's Mike Meade.
Mike Meade had an easy catch there. It was just deflected. Rich D'Amico, a rookie from Penn State, another linebacker.
Wayman Buggs had to come from behind to save the touchdown. So the ball set up now on the Green Bay 10-yard line with 1:31 to play. And Mark Wilson has another chance to move this team up on the scoreboard.
Keep it on the ground.
Coming wide, Chester Willis to the 5. Byron Braggs and Chet Parlavecchio. Be second and goal about 5 yards away. And for Bart Starr and Bob Schnelker to his left, Ross Fietner to his right. Then a long night in Los Angeles. Clock is rolling, and we're down to 1 minute.
Just runs the sweeps right out the clock.
Of course, the fans, those that are left, want to see something else up on that board yet before the clock runs out.
Not too many fans left there in the Coliseum.
Same play, and it's Willis again. He gets about halfway there. To the 2.5. Robert Brown.
Get one more play off.
Clock running. 31 seconds.
Maybe not.
And if they want to, the Raiders can just let it roll out right here. So for Green Bay, not an impressive performance tonight after 2 uptick performances against the Jets and against the Cincinnati Bengals. But it wasn't in the card as the LA Raiders take the spotlight tonight in their first home game in Los Angeles. And trying for the touchdown and getting it is Billy Taylor on the last play of the game. Well, we got 2 seconds left, so there will be another play. But Billy Taylor gets in there to make the score look a little more woeful for Packer fans.
23-3 with the extra point coming. Billy Taylor off the left side. After the turnover, Raiders go 10 yards. Billy Taylor off the left side. Gets that football into the end zone for the touchdown.
So that'll make the score look a little more impressive in the morning papers. And Mark Wilson will hold for Chris Farr on the point after. And it's good. 24-3. 2 seconds left to play. We'll see the kickoff yet.
Look at this. 11 o'clock back in Green Bay, I guess. 12 o'clock back east. And plenty of time left in the evening here in Los Angeles.
Paul Hornung says with a big smile on his face.
Yes.
You're going to church after the game,
Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. Somewhere out there.
24-3, and the Packers will save a kickoff return for Ira Matthews. And everything you could say has been a success for the LA Raiders tonight. They have done what they wanted to do. Al Davis, in no uncertain terms, wanted his ball club to go out and put on a show in LA. LA's first home appearance. They've sold something like 50 to 60,000 season tickets out here.
The only problem is they didn't distribute them all to the people, and people did not arrive here. I had over 60,000 tickets sold, but there's only 40,000 in attendance. So there's a lot of tickets misplaced somewhere. Didn't arrive in time.
Well, it's quite a ripple out here, too.
A ripple is not the word for it.
Chris Farr just squibs it on the ground. And here's a rare kickoff return opportunity for linebacker Cliff Lewis.
That's it.
And the ball comes loose, but it's all academic because the ball game is over. And the final score, the Los Angeles Raiders 24 and the Packers 3. Back with a wrap-up after this break.